Oh god. Right, here we go. It should be a good one. It should be a pretty interesting one at the very least. It is game day. It is a very crucial game day as well. We're up against the league leaders, and as champions you kind of want to make sure that you're within touching distance. We have a chance to kind of cut that 2-length lead down to 1 if we can with a win today, so hopefully that's the case. Nice to see you, Flash, as always, brother. Hope you're well. Let's just make sure this is working as intended, which I think it is. Hello, how you doing? How's everyone holding up? It's a pretty good vibe today. I'm pretty optimistic. You know, I think this is one of those games where you actually come into it with a bit more faith than the last few, especially based off of what we've seen on Thursday night. It wasn't the greatest end result, obviously, from being 2-0 up, but hey, we put in a really solid shift away from home against a strong Italian side with 10 men, so if that gives us any indication as to how today could go, then well, I mean, we're on for a good one. But like I said, it's just a case of getting across the line today. Realistically, into 3 points is 3 points, and as long as we get those, I am chuffed, I am happy, I am pleased. That's pretty much the bare minimum today, but it's nice to see you all. You're hoping today's result is like your daughters before your father went out, you've been on fire. Fingers crossed then. Don't think we'll be scoring 180 goals or anything like that, but if we can put in you know, anything close to that type of level today, in terms of like 100%, right, just a steady turn, right, you want to be consistent. That's pretty much the goal for us today. Nice to see you, David. Hope you will. Need another big one from Trusty. Yeah, I mean, he was interstellar a few days ago, so if we can get anything on par with that performance, we should be fine. I like the way that we've lined up today. We'll kind of touch on some of the key changes. I'm sure anyone that's already looked at the lineup knows that one of the key changes is our striker position, because we do have our new boy starting, Thomas Fanchara. He's going to be coming in as a striker. We'll kind of touch on the actual lineups in a second. We've got about at least a little bit of time, about 8 minutes, give or take. But nice to see you as well, Shuto. Hope you're well. Hello to you as well, brother. We should pull up all the little things that we need to. Like I usually do whenever we're kicking off at the same time as other teams in the league, we'll be keeping tabs on 2 games. Obviously, you know, let me just pull this up first so you can get a little gander. League table, as you can see as it stands, it's a very close run thing, especially near the top. I mean, even Motherwell's technically in with a shout, although they do have that extra game played and they're still 4 points behind. So it would take all 3 teams to fuck up immensely today to close the gap for the first puck side. But nonetheless, the top 3 are all in action around the same time. Rangers will be kicking off against Dundee, which is pretty much one of the games that we will be covering. Obviously, this one as well. But, I mean, realistically, if Celtic beat Hearts, we close the gap and we try and cut it down to 3 points. Like I said, that's the 2-length analogy. If you've ever, you know, watched horse racing, usually it's that type of thing. If you can kind of close it to 1 length, and you know you're still within a chance of beating them to the finishing line, so that's all we can really ask for. But obviously with Rangers playing Dundee as well, who are a bit of an out of form side right at the moment, let's be honest, you would expect that if Rangers and Celtic can win the day, then the title fight immediately becomes 95% more intense, because obviously the pressure will be on Hearts not to trip up. They have been pretty good in the front running aspect. They've kind of kicked on. They've only lost twice this entire season, which is damn respectable. So you got to give them credit where it's due in that sense. If they can get something going today, they're going to have to start probably pretty quickly, because Celtic have been pretty good in the first halves of most games. I mean, we weren't the best in the game against Auchinleck Talbot, but we managed to get a goal in that one. We were pretty convincing in the 4-0 win. We weren't too great in the Falkirk match, but we did score right at the end of that half as well, so we tend to do most of their damage in the opening 45. And if you take the last match as a prime example, we scored twice in Italy. So like I said, we have that mentality to go from the first whistle rather than the second one, which is nice. You know, that gives us a bit more of a platform to build on. But Hearts, like I said, they're a strong and stable side, and we should touch on the lineups before everyone kind of gets ready to come out and all that jazz. Nothing matters. I fucking love Love Floors. But we've got the lineups here. Like I said, we will be keeping tabs on actually it's on this one, yeah. We'll be keeping tabs on the Rangers and Dundee game as well, obviously, just because of how tight the table is. You obviously want to make sure that everything is as up to date as possible. So to save anyone the hassle of having that on the side, we'll keep tabs on that one too, don't worry. But the one that we're focusing on, of course, is this one. We'll start with Hearts' lineup, because as you would expect, it's pretty much what most people were probably going to go with. The only difference that I was thinking is that maybe Leonard wouldn't have started, but they put him in, which is an interesting one. Obviously, the way that they set up besides that, they're very strong. There is no Shankland, of course. That's kind of a key thing to say out the gate, so that works to their advantage because he did score against us in the last match at Celtic Park. That was pretty much the killing blow in that match. Even though we scored late, it still ended in a 2-1 defeat, so we don't want that to happen again today, ideally. So yeah, we just have to keep those boys, especially on the wings, quiet, right? Because everyone knows that Greek bastard out on the left, he is very talented, especially from about 20, 30 yards. You give him a shot, he certainly knows how to put it on target. So, of course, Alexandre Caceres, he'll be definitely the kind of key man to watch. But Braga has been in amongst the goals and the assists as well. Very strong, capable man that knows how to beat his boys down the line and get good crosses in. Obviously, Magnussen's popped up here and there. But the guy that I'm actually kind of pinning as the surprise pick today would probably be Craig Halkett, because defensively, when they've played well, he seems to be one of the key pieces for them, and it's going to be interesting to see how he kind of handles the pressure of today's game. He's picked up some massive goals for Hearts this season. I think if you want to pick the main one, it would probably be that one at the end of the Edinburgh Derby, right? If I remember right, it was him that scored that one in stoppage time to give them all 3 points. So, like I said, there are big personalities in that team that can do some damage, but like I said, no Shanklin, it's Kabori that starts up front instead, so it'll be interesting to see how they kind of take that battle on, because again, with the way that we've changed, it's not that shitty. 5 at the back, let's go. Nice to see you, Caden. Hope you're well, lad. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Hope you're having a good weekend. I like this. Like I said, it's a bit early, in my opinion, to maybe throw Thomas Vanchara in towards the lineup, especially this early doors. But again, my thinking is that if it gets Maeda in his natural positioning and allows Yang to free roam and get those crosses in rather than having to cut inside all the fucking time, it might open up some opportunities for us, especially on quick counters, which might be the play, especially with Magnussen playing a bit forward. Especially in terms of that central attacking midfield slot, you'd expect him to be a bit more pragmatic on the push. So if McGregor or Arn can win the ball in midfield, you'd imagine Negron would be pushed a bit more centrally. So don't think about it like that lineup. It's not necessarily as you would imagine. McGregor would technically play either on the left or just on the left with Arn on the right, and you probably have Negron pushed a bit further forward, but McGregor could just simply be dropping a bit deeper in to counteract that attacking style for Hearts. If we want to keep Magnussen quiet, for instance, that might be one of the ways to do so. But the rest of the lineup I'm pretty okay with. I thought maybe Donovan might have got the shout for this one, but Julian Araujo comes in, which I do not mind at all. He was pretty good in the game against in the last few games that we've seen him feature in, I should say, my bad. But I think the kind of key thing for us, obviously, is the defence, and it's going to be Scales and Trusty, realistically. Trusty was fucking excellent against Bologna, so if we can have anything along the lines of that today, we'd be pretty happy. If you want a little look at the bench, we'll kind of pull that up then now for you, so you can take a little gamble and a gander to see who might come on or feature. You've got a couple of faces on each side that could potentially be very critical off the bench. Obviously, for us, you've got players that can do damage. Players like Rio, Bernardo, Tenecti, McCowan, all very good powerhouses. Ian Forrest and Donovan can come on and cause a threat should need be, but of course for them, they've got McKenty. That's definitely one to keep an eye out for. James Wilson as well can cause some damage here and there. But honestly, I think in terms of what Hearts have came out with, it's probably their best lineup, given what they have. They do obviously have a couple of injury situations kind of similar to us. You know, I do feel for them in that sense. It's always whenever you're winning or in front in the league that all of your best players happen to get crippled at the worst possible time. So it's definitely not going to be a battle of the strongest 11s, let's say, because obviously we know that Celtic are still down a few key pieces in very key areas. So it will be an interesting one to see how the boys line up. But for what the squads can be, they're very strong, very capable, and this should be one hell of a match. Hopefully we get some good football played. That's all we can really hope for. And as long as that's the case, we're fucking good. I'm happy. Life is decent. As long as we win. As long as we win. Nice to see you all, though. Anyone that's in here early, you are very much appreciated. We'll be kicking off in less than a minute from now, so do keep that in mind. It's going to be a good game for sure. The hope is that obviously we keep the things as simplified as possible. We don't want to do too much, right? Like realistically, from at least kick-off, you don't want to be trying to do too much fancy shit out the gate. If you take an early lead or something, then sure, maybe take a different approach. You could take that idea of if you kind of do what we did in the last match against Bologna, where you could kind of catch them cold. We could have that that same type of effect, where if we kind of get an early corner or something that could maybe, you know, catch them loose, then we could potentially just run away with the game. But again, it could work the other way around. If Hearts score early, they are the ones that probably would be favoured to go on and win the match for here. Like I said, nothing is ever really set in stone with these types of matches. Nice to see you, Kev. Hope you're well, man. Go for a 3-1. Well, I've kind of gone with a more steady 2-1 prediction. I don't think that it's going to be as easy as people have been making out to be. I know the big argument, if you go into my description, it's one of the key points that I put in there as well, is that Martin O'Neill still hasn't conceded a goal domestically since he's came back in. As the only 2 goals he's conceded have both been in the Europa League, and that was in the last match. So ideally, we just want a decent game. Kick-off has happened. Let's play some ball. Hopefully a good game. Come on, man. All we can hope for is something solid. It's a packed out Tynecastle, you wouldn't expect anything else. The Jambos know how to bring the atmosphere when they've got their fans in the stand, so it will be a very high energy type of game. It's already kind of bouncing around a lot in the early doors. Well held up and flicked on. Scales just kind of responds in kind, does the exact same thing. Little flick-ons here and there, and I think there's an early foul for Hearts, yeah. Nice to see you, Schnepp. Hope you're well, brother. Hope you're enjoying yourself. I'm on the Celtic. Now we've got 2 hour final modes and shit to do. Oh yeah, shit, sorry, before anything I should probably refresh this one as well, just so that's obviously up to date as well. Although apparently they've not even kicked off yet, Lamal. Fair enough. I guess we just did that a little earlier. Oh yeah, I'm going to bring the stats up now, fantastic, there you go, so you can see them as well. I said it's Halkett that's the captain of it for Hearts. Obviously, without Shankland being in the lineup, that will be a big thing for them, as if they can get Kabori firing in all cylinders early doors. Celtic are trying their best to kind of keep the ball in the air early stages here. It's very much just pop and play. There's another foul for Hearts. Not really a good indicator early doors if you want to put it nicely, but a foul on average every 30 seconds for us so far. A wee bit chilly. To be fair, it's not as cold as it has been in previous years, let's be honest. I mean, it was a lot more bitter a few days ago. It's not too bad in Edinburgh by the looks of it. Pitch looks decent enough anyway. That's brilliant for Kazarides. I don't know how to pronounce his name exactly. Is it Kazarides or is it Kazarides? I really don't actually know. I've heard like 4 different commentators have different pronunciations. It's just one of those names, right? It's like Kvaratskhelia. It just depends on how you pronounce it. But he's certainly a hell of a player, man. Some of the goals I've seen him score, especially from outside of the box, which is Schmeichel's dead zone, let's say. Any shot that comes from like outside of that D, he doesn't deal with necessarily well. So it's going to be, from Hearts' standpoint anyway, they're going to really have to hope that there's at least 1 or 2 runs in behind, which is why I'm imagining Braga's pushed a little bit further in than his other winger counterpart. There's a slight press engaged for Hearts there, doesn't necessarily lead to much. Celtic try and win the knock on, but Hearts steal it back. Nice little play towards their fall back. It was an awkward pass back towards their skipper, but they get away with it, and Celtic in turn win the header from the clearance. It's a little bit awkward. No team's really comfortably playing on the ball right now. Just more or less 1-2 touch move. Try and keep it away from being too problematic, I should say. Nice to see you, Alan. Hope you're well, my guy. Come on, Celtic, we'd love to see it. Okay, Gashes, I think I recognise you. If you've been in here before, nice to see you, but I love that. Ooh, ah. It'll be interesting to see how Thomas Swanchara plays today. He's a very tall boy, at least from what I'm seeing early doors. He's obviously not done much. He's barely had a touch, but we've not really been in the final third as much as we would probably like to be early doors. Like I said, if you want to start, you want to start fast. Doesn't seem to be the approach that O'Neill wants to take early doors. So again, I don't mind it as long as we don't sit off the ball, because as good as we were on Thursday, the second that we kind of set ourselves 10-15 yards deeper than we wanted to, it caused us a lot of problems. Defending is not our specialty by any means. There's a reason Trusty got man of the match, man. He had to dig in and put in one of the best shifts we've seen from him for a while. So we do need to keep that in mind. Good pass for Trusty though, as soon as we mention him. Speak of the devil, and he shall arrive. Nice pass out towards Araujo. Calm enough touch for Young, just pops it back in towards the Yank. It could be a simple ball forward, they might take that approach, but opts to just hold it up instead. Calm enough, I don't mind it. Played out towards the South Korean on the right hand side, steps inside as well, really good dribble. This is what I'm saying, Yang doesn't have to just go to the byline all the time, he can actually take a wee step inside and then cut across to the byline to get crosses away a play after. Araujo, it opens up lanes. And I think what I'm saying about McGregor makes sense as well, because theirs dropped a little bit deeper in than usual. You want him to be the second Samurai? To be fair, it does sound very similar name-wise, doesn't it? Until he's about to step up and there's a cameraman poking him in his arse, so... Eventually gets ready, swung in. It's a decent ball, it's a good header as well, but Gordon gets his hands to it firmly and doesn't drop the ball. First chance of the game goes away to Celtic, though, it has to be said. Decent ball in for KT, doesn't necessarily look too threatening at first, but Skills manages to rise up, get between pretty much 3 or 4 maroon shots, gets a header on it, but well, not necessarily a bad header, it was still pretty much straight at Gordon, so calmly enough and easily dealt with by the shot stopper. There's a drop up for Hearts there though, so it's another free kick for us. Nygren's going down. That's nice to see everyone's in good form. Nice ball out towards the... Oh, that's a foul, has to be. He's just been dragged at the edge of the box and the referee agrees, yep. God goes over to the referee, have a word with him, but again, he was definitely tripped up there. They're complaining that there should be a card, and he has a right to complain because it was a very open run. It wasn't obviously going to be in a 1-on-1 or anything, but yeah, that's a wee bit cynical. Maybe the centre-back could have got there as well. Finland might have been able to beat him to it, but his teammate either didn't trust him or didn't want to take the risk and just pulled him down anyway. It's talking about direct free kicks. We've still not scored a single one since January 2021, apparently. Fuck's sake, we're going back a while. Interesting enough. The set pieces are good, man. We can do damage for here. I like the way that we're set up with these, especially with Martin O'Neill the last few games, because we either lay it off and shoot, or alternatively we just hit it with everything we've got and try and anchor it into the corner, and if we can do that, fucking excellent. And that's a really good shot! That's a fucking brilliant goal! We've scored their set piece! 1-0 Celtic, Benjamin Nygren! I like him. He has been big for us this season. Consistent when other players have not, and that is absolutely fucking brilliant for the Swede. Absolutely sweetly struck. Keeper gets nowhere fucking near it. That is absolutely spot on. What a shot that is. Gordon ain't getting fucking close. I love the boy to death in between the sticks for Hearts. He's a massive legend for Celtic. But even in his prime form, he doesn't get fucking close to that. It's an absolutely stupidly well-placed shot for Nygren. It's not top corner, but it's enough power to make sure that it goes in. Brilliant fucking start. Like I said, it's the O'Neill effect. We're not really taking fucking 60 minutes to get up to speed. And Tynecastle immediately dials down a few decibels because they know that it's not a Nancy side they're playing, so they might be in for a fucking hiding. Good shit, Nygren. That's the start we wanted to see, big man. Fucking love it. Love it Shanchara's over there celebrating with them as well. Fucking scenes. Well, that's why a lot of us wanted to see him start in the game against Bologna. There's your answer. That's why. It just offers that little bit of class when you need it. And early doors is as good as a time as any to do it, but Hearts obviously still need to deal with the press in their own right. Interesting. They've pretty much put everyone into the box, so they're going to go for a quick cross here if they can, but instead they just poorly pass it in and give it away. It looks like Hearts have been a bit rattled early doors as a chase down engaged. And they put it out for a throw-in, pretty much just inside their half, right in front of Martin O'Neill. into them, as Davey has just said. We have done just that. Very solid start for us. Cannot complain about it in the slightest from the pressing perspective, yeah, but you've got to be careful there. Scales, it's a decent pass through, but Tierney should chase that back ahead of Braga. Does Gabori will kind of keep the pressure on, but Schmeichel deals with that as well. Araujo sends it up the line. It doesn't necessarily find anyone at all, just goes straight through towards Craig Gordon on the other side. And they'll try and play some decent football here. Finlay, that's an awkward pass, but well dealt with. Give him credit there. Milner tries to keep the pressure alive. The Greekman gets it from him, but there was a step in there. I think it's a throw in for Hearts anyway. I don't think you should be singing "We Shall Not Be Moved," Caden. Technically, we're second. We should be moved. Upwards, ideally. And so far, we're on course to keep that on track. Let's take a wee gander, see what's happening in this bitch. What? Right, I was going to say, there must have been a pretty delayed kicker for them to be that far behind, but nonetheless, they are there. Suppose we'll do that so you can keep an eye on that. We'll kind of switch between the two at will during dead points in the game. Or at least when there's a stoppage or a little sustained break in play like now, actually. I mean, the referee's just having words with Braga about something, but I don't see really why he's complaining too much. Yeah. Kind of half-hearted, I suppose. It looks like it did come after us, but don't think it's enough to really hassle the referee over. Ball's thrown up, and it's an awkward touch for Yang. It's going to go Horse's way. There's a chance for them to break forward. Scales doesn't necessarily deal with that. It's a good shot and well saved by Schmeichel. Wasn't necessarily actually kind of similar to the shot we had in the sense that it wasn't exactly right into the side netting, let's say, so it was just about easy enough for Schmeichel to get his hands to. Yeah, very much central actually. Looked a lot more threatening from the first angle than the second, but for behind the goal, yeah, I wouldn't have even really got towards the side net. Not close. 11 has gone down there. Svenjara hasn't really featured too much, but he's just won a foul now. Nice wee UFC moves for the Hearts defenders. I mean, for those of you in chat, what he's making of the game so far, pretty respectable start from us, I have to say. That's a nice wee ball on behind if he's onside. I don't honestly know. The ball's played in for now. Flag stays down. Tierney tries to win the knock on. It's still awkward. Maeda puts his leg out. There's a bit of a dangle there and the foul's given. A thousand things. I mean, I suppose you're right. There's a throw in there. That could be. I mean, it's hard to really say what Hearts' idea is here. Like, again, Braga's still pushed a bit further in. Not really seeing too much movement from Magnussen off the ball as well. They're not necessarily at full speed, let's say. Probably second gear as of now. Celtic are probably in third. Neither team's really taking the game by the scruff of the neck by any means. It's more Celtic have just taken their chances. Hearts not so much on their end. That's a decent ball forward. Nice, calm. That could be threatening. It still could be threatening. It's an awkward deflection, but Hearts just about deal with it. Nygren was there to cause some problems on the off chance that it was given away there by Finlay, but calmly dealt with in the end. Comes to the goal difference today for the second. I mean, realistically, I don't think Celtic will care too much in that sense. I think for us it will be more or less, look, just get the 3 points, because at least that way we've closed the gap. It doesn't matter how we do it, it's just that we do it. going to be sent forward, touched in inside. That's an awkward one as well, actually. Trusty does well with a pass back, sends it forward a bit too far though. Gives Hearts a chance to maintain it, but after a few bounce arounds, it's, I mean, the Hearts players are again complaining, but he did just walk out of play, then takes the ball into the pitch. Right, okay, so he is a bit of a dick, fair enough. Not going to argue with that one too much, I suppose, but you're only wasting your own time, technically. The Hearts fans are starting to boo and jeer basically every single move that Celtic make, which doesn't really surprise me too much. Araujo steps a bit too far following that throw, so he's reined back to try again. Yang's pass back is fucking loose as hell, but Trusty's immediately there to keep Kabore quiet. They try and do a quick throw, but there's no easy option, so they just go back to Milner in the end. Play it across, Halkett under slight pressure. Finn, I tell you what, the pressure's kind of dealt with a loose ball, or at least a loose touch from Steinwender. Actually, I wouldn't say it's a bad pass, it was just a poor touch. Celtic have a throw in about 40 yards from their net. Goes for the long one into the box. It's an awkward bounce around, but should easily be gathered by Gordon in the end, and is. It's a very dumb comparison, Caden. There's like 1,000,001 other songs you could sing. Do you know how you're saying it's a, you know, there's 1,000,001 other meanings? We're not saying that it's bad to sing it. We're just saying it's pretty stupid to sing it when you're in second, because like "We Shall Not Be Moved" means that you're not going to leave from where you are. You don't want to finish second, regardless of situation. If you're like a Motherwell or a Livingston, fuck aye, second is smashing. Unfortunately, no. First. First or bust. That's the way to look at it. That's a decent slice. Actually, could be slightly awkward. It's well dealt with by Hearts in the end. Give them credit there. So neither team are playing bad by any means. They both had half chances. Celtic, like I said, have taken theirs. Hearts not so much with their opportunity. But it seems that under O'Neill we're trying to do things that we don't usually do. I mean, it was just saying literally before we scored that free kick that we don't score from free kicks, so case in fucking point. That's a good steal for on as well. Does well to body his man up, gets out towards McGregor, and that's a nice pass for the skipper. Yang, this is what I'm saying. Yep, then he cuts to the byline. I love when he does that. Forces some pressure on Hearts, but again, well dealt with this time. Araujo puts a little bit of bodily pressure on, and Trusty will chase that down to make sure that Celtic once again retain the ball. It's all one-way pressure. That is the top of the table, chant. Yeah, I see, unanimous agreement. I'm not getting your shit for it, Caden, don't worry. I mean, that was a decent attempt from us there. I like that little break in Vian, but yeah, easily dealt with in the end. Ball sent forward, headed, and dealt with well enough. I like that touch, but again, Hearts are just under too much pressure under their own right. Every time they pretty much get it past the halfway line, they're being forced to go for long range switches, or they're forced to basically go back. And when they go back, Celtic have got one or two extra bodies, like what I was saying about McGregor basically anchoring out onto the left so Nygren can push forward as a more of a central attacking midfielder. That's pretty much what's happening right now, and it means that whenever Nygren steps in, Magnussen's being forced backwards. He's not got any free space to work with. It keeps the midfield pretty much entirely quiet, and especially when it comes to the full-backs and either side for Hearts. Like Milner, he's under a lot of pressure. You know, Steinwinder's given a few loose touches here and there, let's be honest. He's not been 100%, so it's one of those. 12. Fuck's sake. Fair enough. Oh, that's a good step, and actually Hearts have a potential chance, and instead they just stop and cut it back. See, that might be where the fans in the stadium might start getting a bit annoyed. They had a good chance to cut inside there, and they ought to take a safe route. That's a decent ball in. It's actually a really good ball in, but once again there's just a bit of a loose run that doesn't necessarily meet the end of a potentially threatening pass, let's say. So like I said, the Greekman is very solid because Riddis does the right thing, swings it in, decent ball, gets it over Orn's boot. Milner tries to chase into the back post, but he's a mix of good marking and poor running, you would say, contributed to that, just bouncing out on the other side for a simple goal kick. You think of them all like different type of captains, right? Chateau's more like your, you know, old style skipper, you know what I mean, old school. Flash is your Callum McGregor, you know, not necessarily soft but firm but fair. And then Chateau, like fucking Virtual's just straight up 100% Scott Brown, he'll break your legs on the side. Even if you don't say anything wrong, it's just like, I don't like the tone of your voice. That fucking Monty Python skit. Fuck's sake. Things you'll love to see. Exactly that, Virtual. As long as we're moving upwards, that's the thing. Even if we win today, chances are the table position doesn't necessarily change for the better. Because what you would imagine is that Rangers should probably beat Dundee, right, even if it is a scrappy 1-0 win. So the table is going to be very condensed, right? 3 teams within 3 points. It's rare territory for Scottish football, especially past Christmas. So from that perspective, yeah, I mean, it's nice to see a title race. And at least Celtic are actually trying to make it look like a fucking challenge this time. It's a good ball across. It's a decent hit. Oh, it's a loose hit. I was going to say it was a decent idea, I should say, to header it back to Gordon to keep the pressure off, but it's a fucking loose ass header. Calling a kick for us. He's shouting to himself. He's not happy. Through that, Caden. It's more your spirit, your soul. Nah. That's kind of like in my mind why I picked those 3 specifically to be like moderators. I know there's one other guy that used to be in like a lot when I first started. I don't see him as much anymore, but those are my original 4. But the way it works usually is if all 3 of them tell me the same thing, then I'm like, right, they all have different views and personalities, so if they're in agreement over something, then yeah. It could be a decent chance for us to get something for here. Corner kick swung in. It's not really too deadly. Bounces out towards the edge of the area. McGregor just kind of skips it. And apparently it was... Did it go out? Or was there a foul? I'm guessing there was a foul, right? Yeah, okay, I guess there was on Scales. Came in on Leonard and just pushed him over him. Yeah, it was for the push. Right, fair enough, can't argue with that then. How's Big Talent looking? Sorry I missed that comment there, I just looked up to see that one there. He hasn't been doing too much, to be honest with you. He's played a very quiet game, but he's not had too much to do, if that makes sense. The chances have been pretty limited for both sides. So you can't really say too much for either side's striker. But he seems energetic enough, he's sticking with the team. You know, he's not pure breaking away for the rest of the pack and, you know, 10-15 yards away for everyone else. He's keeping the press on, especially whenever it's put in towards, like I said, those fallbacks for Hearts. He's kind of making sure that he's the off-runner to make sure they don't have an easy centre-back pass, and if they do, it's because he's dropped in to kind of stop the midfield runs, I should say. Decent ball in his space. I don't know if it's McCart or someone else that's got in the end of that, but someone did, and there's a half shot there. They're trying to claim for a penalty. Fuck off with this shit, man. He's down pure holding his ankle. Fuck right off, that is not even close. That is desperation stations and you're 23 minutes into the game. You don't deserve to be winning titles if you're diving. Let's see what happens here. He gets the shot away and then just goes down holding his ankle. Nah, fuck off, mate. You had a shit shot, realised it was a shit shot and decided to try and dive. Fuck out of here, you sad wee prick. Fuck's sake, grown ass man. Pathetic. Brilliant stuff. Nice to see you, Harry. Hope you're well, man. I don't understand that. Like, I get if he's like a small 5'6" scrawny teenager that goes down or whatever. You're like, right, cool, right, that can maybe happen. But this dude is like what, 6 foot, built like a brick shit house. You don't go down like that. There's actually a really good break forward first. Nice for Dyson. Lovely hold up. Just kind of angles the run to make sure we have an extra runner there. That's lovely. Nice. Good passing from us. Really good passing from us. Still going. Fuck off. Don't try and do too much here, boys. We've done too much and we've lost it. We've won it back. Yes, McGregor. Oh, fuck off. He's lost it as well. Never mind, never mind. Box, fair enough. I mean, it was the right idea, but I think McGregor's adrenaline was just a bit too much for that one. I like the idea of that though. The nice little intricate passing was pretty much what you would want to see, but maybe not the calibre of players to pull off the tiki-taka style of play. Nah, it takes a lot for someone to get banned on this channel. I don't think anyone actually is, to be fair. There's people that have been timed out and stuff before, 100%, but outright banned, only people that like came in and spammed like the M-mod and stuff. That type of shit. Oof, slightly loose pass there. Let's get it back. They might just stop to play it. Oh, fucking hell, they're playing a dangerous game themselves, and Young reminds them of that. Sticks his leg in, gets a throw in. Oh wait, it's went Hearts his way. Fair enough. They don't look too happy, the Jambo fans. A lot of boos and jeers starting to happen. That's not fun. My apologies. I did hit you with like a 10-15 second time out, I'm guessing. I mean, Braga and Araujo were pulling on each other's shots. I suppose it is a foul though. There's a good ball into the box for Hearts. Maybe they might have something here, but the header is soft at best. I don't even think it was necessarily on target. It was headed into the ground by Magnussen, who we've not really seen too much of from Hearts today. That's a loose pass for Dyson. You don't really do the 1-2 touch stuff when you're one of 3 people forward. That's not a foul either. Yeah, Schwanchara looks a wee bit bemused by that one. Referee starting to kind of bend to the fans' will a little bit, let's say. I mean, he could have gone through the back ACL to win the ball, I don't honestly know, but for, again, real time, it looks like he just kind of picked the ball for under him. Listening in from Miami, Florida. Oh, well, that's good to see, my guy. You must be buzzing for the fact that you're in Florida. Hell yeah, man. You got Scotland coming there next year. Watching Celtic life must be good for you, man. Class. Oh, Trusty's a baller, big man. Like usually we give players shite if they are shite. Trusty had a very iffy start, to be honest, right? He just wasn't up to speed. But over the last, I would say, 6-7 months, hold on a minute, my head is in behind here to cry out, oh, I mean, it could have been a problem. I respect the big man, that was unlucky. Train of thought, what was I just talking about? Trusty, aye. Very, very solid, especially over the last kind of 6-7 months or so. He's definitely blossomed up to be one of our better players, and we were talking about his shift in the last match against Bologna. Easily one of the best players on the pod by a country fucking mile, man. He put his life on the line to get away with some of the shit that he did, man. Some of the fucking last ditch challenges, some of the blocks, the chase downs, every aerial duel he was trying to get on the end of. Like, when he plays like that, he is very, very solid. Schwanchara puts the pressure on Finlay. That could have been something. The Americans do bring in some half decent players. I mean, we had Carter Vickers as well when he's back and fit. Those two are a force to be reckoned with, let's be honest. Oh, it's a loose touch for Hearts there. Not exactly ideal for their 89. Just kind of pips it up, doesn't necessarily deal with it, goes out for a throw-in, Kamenov. Aye, timeouts, for sure. Decent ball out towards Scales. Where's the pass going to go? Back towards the goalkeeper. Fair enough. Schmeichel. I haven't seen too much of him in the opening half an hour. I mean, in terms of stats, it's been very limited in terms of chances for either side. If this is a top of the table clash, if you're watching it as a neutral, you're kind of scratching your head, wondering where the sources of goals are coming from for either side, because it's a bit lacklustre. I'm not going to give Schwanchara too much shite for that, because again, Can't really judge him until you see him have a couple of shots. But he's at least trying to get involved in the game, although mostly, admittedly, those are fouls. I didn't about there, great to see we scored with Boston. We scored pretty early into the game, about 6-7 minutes in, Negrin free kick. Lovely shot right into the top corner, Gordon get nowhere near it. And about as good as it's got for Hearts is about 5-10 minutes later they had a breaking half chance that they hit straight at Kasper Schmeichel. That was basically been their key moment for this one. Still 15 minutes in the half admittedly, so there's plenty of time. You kind of have that to work with. If you're a Hearts fan, I guess you're not too worried, because like you said, Celtic play their best stuff in the first half, so if they go in half time 1-0 down, they very much are still in the game. But Celtic are definitely playing the better stuff of the two teams. There's a bit more purpose with our balls forward, there's a lot more control and composure, especially in the midfield. That's where a bulk of this battle would be, and because McGregor's kind of playing as that anchor that's just out on the left, it's making it really hard, as for mentioned at the start of the stream, for Magnuson to do that press that he's probably wanting to do. That's a decent ball forwards from Chara. Again puts a bit of pressure on Halkett. Arm just gets on the end of it and then has a half crack for range, and they're complaining that he booted the ball, but the referee, he's saying that he didn't really do too much wrong, and to be honest, he didn't. He kind of like puts his arm out a little bit to kind of brace himself, but I think the Hearts player feels the contact and just figures, fuck it, I might as well flop. From front to back, I guess, fair enough. Meant to keep yourself in the game, I kind of respect it in some degree, but it's getting a bit old, a bit quick. Lovely ball forward. An equal response, great defending for Hearts, that's a lovely step in. And now they have a chance to break forward, that's another really good pass. Hearts might be able to do something here, there's a oh, it's a horrible pass once they... Yeah, as soon as they get into the final third they kind of panic, it's just not the greatest final ball whatsoever. There's another trip up, and I think that one's a foul. Don't think you can complain about that one too much, young. You just caught him. There was no ball there at all. Simple as you like. It's twice I've done what? Oh, like when you say two numbers together, like 2, 3, 3, 4. I know that fucking 6, 7 is one of those mean things. It's just one of those ones I don't understand because it's genuinely fucking stupid. There's no point to it. Ball into the box for Hearts, that's awkward lighting one. That could be fucking still awkward. Shots down, not necessarily cleared, and eventually Araujo pops it up and away. Kalmanoff, nice to see. Ball into space again though. This attack is by no means done. Hearts have a bit more of a... I wouldn't necessarily call it a spring in their step, but more of a second wind. They've got a bit of an identity in their move forwards now, I suppose. I guess that'd be one way to phrase it, right? But I think it's only funny when it's unintentional, right? It's like those memes that you always see with the fucking... Oh, hold on, chance. Crossing in the box for Hearts could be dangerous. It's popped up and there might be a jump at the back. Yeah, never mind. It's headed straight in the hands of Schmeichel. Calm enough, we're not going to argue with that one too much. But yeah, memes need to make sense, ideally. Let's have a little look to see if anything's changed in this one. Apparently there's not even been a fucking shot between these two sides in 30 minutes. I'm hoping that that's just because it's taken a while and it's not updated or anything. Why do I do this? Ah, here we go. No, the only team that's really had, well, one shot apiece, I should say. There's only been one shot in target in that match. So it looks like Rangers are having the same type of offensive struggles that both Hearts and Celtic are having as well. Making the clear-cut chances is a lot easier said than done. Braga tries to win it in that byline, but I get bounced back off him. Dry smile for him, but don't think McInnes will be too happy with the opening stint for this match, more than a third of the game being and done now, and not really too much for the Hearts fans to speak of. Celtic have definitely had the better stints on the ball, but Again, same kind of situation. In terms of chance creation, just not enough. Both teams just kind of setting themselves in defence. That's another loose touch. And again, Hearts give it away in the byline. It's another throw-in for us. You can tell they're missing Shankland a little bit. At the very least, you can tell they're missing him a tiny bit. It's just because Kabori's not a natural hold-up type of player. He's more of a driving type. Likes to get on the end of the ball and kind of take the heavier touches and barrel down the central kind of areas and then pop out to the flank. Shankland's more of a hold-up, play out to the wings, running and follow up the cross. So it's kind of cutting out a lot of their best players' routes into the, for goals, I should say. Because like I said, usually you've got Braga or Casrides on either side and they're trying to cross it in and cause problems. But they can't really do that if the man is being forced to basically anchor between two centre backs that are both taller, more physical, and more importantly, wise to his style of play. Shankland can at least be a little bit unpredictable, and that's probably what's costing the Hearts so far. He just seems to be a bit too easy to read right now. They're 11. Oh, but Trusty's done something fucking Trusty, no big man, no, fucking thank you, Schmeichel, Jesus Christ. Why do we jinx it, man? What the fuck? We were just talking about how good and consistent Trusty's been. And then he goes and does something like that. My fucking Christ, man. What was that touch? Hearts nearly got handed the gift of a goddamn lifetime. Thank you, Casper, for waking up and getting out to that in time. But Trusty, oh yeah, no, that is bad. That is really bad. No other way to say it, man. Also trying to dance into the box. McGregor just kind of gets it away about 10-15 yards at best though. Quarost into the box again, headed down by Hearts. Still not cleared from Celtic. There's another shot, takes another deflection, half-hearted appeals for a handball, but nothing to really follow up with. And you can hear the Hearts fans try to G up the boys a little here. Probably the play's been stopped for something Fanchara's done as well. I've got to say that was by far and away the biggest chance of the game. Really, that's what the foul was given for. That's fucking sad as hell, ref. What are you talking about? Fair enough, I get. Look, I suppose the only thing that's consistent about the SFA is their inconsistency. That's a slight flick on, not going to be too dangerous, just kind of rolls out the other side. No harm, no foul. How you doing, Jack? How's the? I don't know, probably in the dictionary, chilling out somewhere. Yeah, that Trusty, I really don't understand what Trusty was trying to do there, man. He tries to go like fucking hanging eagle and then just mistouches it horribly. It's a good save for Casper though. But you can't be doing that when you're trying to wrap up a big 3 points. We haven't been particularly on form since we've scored. So I'd say we've probably been the better side, but over the last 5 minutes or so, Hearts have definitely grown into the game. You don't want to give them too much confidence. There's a good ball forward. Kabori's on the chase down with Scales. Irishman just kind of forces him out towards the edge, which is more than fine. Ball across is slightly loose. Although Milner should actually retain it on the far side, does a decent enough job of doing so. Lays it off to Magnussen. Now towards the 89 on the left. Good step inside. There's a good bit of pressing there from Yang and Araujo. Switched in towards the middle, popped up and high. Kabore will have to try and beat out Araujo and doesn't. Played back towards Halkett and it's a nice pop out towards the right. The touch in is a little slack from Braga but takes a kind deflection out for a throw in. Oh, it wasn't Braga, sorry, my bad. Kind of hard to tell when they're on that far side, to be honest. How's Big Tam doing up front? Respectable. I mean, he's not had too many chances. We've touched on it once or twice. He's been very, limited for options in terms of going forward. We've only had, I think, 3 shots this whole game. But when he's getting involved, he's at least, a physical boy. He likes to get in and make a challenge, which is nice to see. Also, they're obviously going to try and win a foul there, but the referee has no interest, and I respect that. It's the first time he's been switched on to their bullshit. It was quite obvious he was trying to look for that. Maeda tries to pickpocket there, nearly works out for him. And I tell you what, followed up by McGregor, who nearly tries to do the same thing. It's out for a it's throw-in just inside their own half. Has become very nervy all of a sudden. I wouldn't say nervy, I would say it's hearts have kind of just grown into the game a little bit. You know, it's you would expect that. You would love to come to Tynecastle and have them have 0 shots for like 40 minutes. That's, you know, that'd be smashing, but we know we're going to be under the pressure a little bit. It was just how needless it was from that perspective. Like, again, you don't want to be doing that type of shit that Trusty's doing. It's all well and good if Hearts play through you and have a brilliant team goal, then you can be like, fair enough, but if you just give them the goal, that's a different type of annoyance. I think O'Neill will just be reminding them that by getting to half time and it's still 1-0. Look, lads, you have done well enough, but you need to be switched on at all times. Doesn't mean because Hearts aren't playing at their best that they can't score goals. They've shown that a few times with the 1-0 type of results that they've had. They've had numerous of them this season just because of the fact that they stay switched on. And that's something Celtic's lacked a few times this season, especially late game. So we see it 35 minutes in. It isn't exactly a, you know, smashing, let's say, but I like Trusty. I hope that he just realises that he's not the type to take touches mid-air. He's better with the ball on the ground than heading them away. He's an aerial specialist, not really an in-air specialist. Schmeichel to Trusty. Schmeichel whips it out. It's a horrible fucking clearance. It basically picks the first shot in midfield that is not green and white. Played back towards Jambo's defence, calmly taken and dealt with. I'll get under a bit of pressure, and it's actually a very loose ball, but thankfully for Horsey's sake they get on the end of it. He's obviously going to go down rolling around like he's been shot. Referee has no interest, just basically, well, moonwalks past Leonard and tells me get the fuck up. The Hearts man just kind of gives him the thumb. Vibes at least, scales. Gets it from Schmeichel's roll out, camera off. It's going to be sent up the line again, but this time with a bit more loft from Casper. A lot of the touches from us have came through the midfield. That's a very loose pass, Jesus Christ. Yeah, seems to be the theme for both sides today. Nice 1-2 intricate movement and then just one absolute shitter of a pass at the end of it all to give it away for no reason. Kind of want Schmeichel just to boot the ball to the 6'2" lad. But honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea to at least try and pop it in with a bit of loft. Give Tomas like a chance to, you know, get involved and do a striker's job, but he's been kept obviously very limited in terms of chances and positioning. He'll chase that in behind, or at least one of them. Almeida should chase that in behind. Go on, son. Nah, it's going to take that soft bounce and it was the keeper's hands, but I respect it. Nice. Yeah, let's see that little bit that we're seeing for Thomas there, like, he's keeping alive with the press. He's switched on, staying around with the boys. That's a very good idea for McGregor, but unfortunately the pass was just poorly executed. It was fucking bad. No way to say it. The first time Justy came in here, you couldn't stand him, cuz. I know, that's what we were saying. Like, if he's had like a weird introduction to Celtic where he was really strange for the first wee while, then became very good, especially from like pretty much around the start of this season, a month or two in, he's been very good from like there. I'd honestly say if you go back to last season's, like after we lost 7-1 to Dortmund, that's when Trusty kind of woke up a little bit and kind of figured his shit out. But he's definitely come into his own over the last 6 months or so, for sure. But that was a horrible mistake, and that's why a lot of people doubt him. That's why a lot of us are like Carter, Vickers and Scales, because Trusty just has that little bit of inconsistency to him. But it didn't cost us this time, thankfully. And we should still be going into the half with a lead to protect, which is about as good as you can ask. A lovely free kick from Benjamin Nygren around the 7th minute was enough to basically keep this game in Celtic's favour. It's 3 massive points for us so far. That's a slight trip up and a loose foul there. Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head though, Flash. Another goal is absolutely crucial. You feel like if there is another goal in this game, whoever it goes towards would have the momentum. If Celtic get a second, you have a pretty strong inclination the Hearts won't come back for that. But if you're Hearts and you get that goal, 1 apiece, game is on. And then basically we're back to Celtic to try and cause some damage. There's a loose ball into the midfield again. And we'll engage in the press, I like that. Yeah, and just make sure there's no easy options either. So we're keeping Hearts moving even when they're in their defensive half essentially. They're not getting too much time to set themselves. There's a loose ball forward. Pretty much the same thing for both fucking sides, right? Like, just that final ball, it's a little bit loose. Maybe something else, only a minute of additional time to play through. Get some actual hydration in the morning, some water would do it. I apologise, just try to stave off a cup so. Good done. Oh, is that? No, that's not fucking. Come on, man. Even Dyson gives him a wee pat in the head as he walked past, as if to say, come on, man. Just kind of clipped at his heel, took his boot off, I think. Yeah, it's not intentional or anything, but does catch him. I have a feeling once this is cleared, half time is going to be the call for the referee, which is the case. I'm not going to bitch about that too much, honestly. I think we'll take that over the course. The 45 minutes, 1-0 is pretty much what you would kind of hope to see from us. Not too bad in that sense. 1 minute of injury time for the 20 minutes of Hearts diving. I mean, they definitely the Kabori one kind of annoys me because the guy is genuinely like had no reason to do it. He just had a shit shot and he was like, fuck it, I might as well go down. Like, I get it, right? Like, the SFA is very inconsistent. There is a high chance that if you fall over, referee will find a fucking way to make sure that you somehow get something anyway. But yeah, I feel like the referees just needs to keep the whistle out his mouth and let the game run sometimes, because both Hearts players and Celtic players have been a bit frustrated in that sense, where it's like, could you maybe let us run this out and actually not hold the advantage every fucking 10 seconds? It's, you know, it's positive. Definitely a lot of positive things to see. Cannot complain about it in the fucking slightest, right? Like, we've kept the ball to the ground. We've just about been the better team, I would say. They've had more chances, but again, that's putting it in a very optimistic way for them, you know what I mean? Like, neither side's at their best, and I think both teams are struggling to get out of second gear right now, so you'd imagine it would definitely up towards the second half. Ref has had more screen time than any players. Would honestly disagree with that. If you that's very kind of you, Flash, thank you for doing that ahead of time. You can indeed do that. I forgot to do that during the fucking half where you're like, please subscribe if you are new. But if you are new, please consider subscribing. It's the best thing you can do to help out the channel. We're trying our best to get towards 2,000 by the end of the season, but realistically I've kind of cemented myself to the fact that at best 1,900. So if we can get any progress towards that, I'd be very kind. Araujo is quality, never makes a mistake. Oh, hello. Nice to see you, Megan. Hope you're well, lass. Hope you're enjoying yourself. It's nice to see that, well, it's nice to see us play okay, right? Like, Araujo's played very good. He's not done too much wrong, to be honest with you. The only mistake that we've really seen defensively overall, I would say, was definitely from Trusty, that little touchback that could have been really bad. I mean, even Schmeichel's waking up a little, which is nice to see, because he came out and chased down that shot that could have obviously been the equaliser for Hearts. So, you know, I think from that perspective, can't really argue with it. We're lucky to be up not a pass between them. I mean, yeah, but it's what I'm saying, Kevin. Neither team is at their best. Celtic are just playing the better of the worst sides right now. Like, neither team is running away with it right now. I don't think anyone's got it by the scruff of the neck and, you know, they're battering the other team or anything. It's just, yeah, frustrating is probably the best way to summarise it, to be honest with you. stop getting involved. Couldn't have put it better myself, Jam. Spot on. I thought I only read 2 hellos there, and I was about to be like, right. hello. Right, nice to see you, Megan. Hope you're well, lass. Lovely to see you as always. The passing to no cut is a current theme at Celtic right now. True. That ball in behind towards the, especially with the loose runners down the wings, right? Like, you've got Yang that tries to do that little, like, turn, spin and run. But when he goes to turn, then, like, McGregor's going, fuck it, he's going that way, or should I say, fuck it, he's going that way, and he'll punt it straight through without any hesitation at full fucking speed. And, like, Yang is fast. He's not Maeda fast, so every time you just see it roll out, you know, fantastic, fucking excellent, especially down the left as well, because Maeda's having to chase, and it just makes it even more frustrating, because you're like, right, well, he likes to cut in and then go to the byline. Yang's been forced to do that on the other side, which is nice to see, but all Hearts really need to do to counteract that is basically push their fullbacks in a little bit. That's why you've probably noticed, like, Braga and Milner and Crusaders kind of drop in, especially whenever Celtic are trying to, like, press with the consistent possession, not counter-attacking, they'll keep the same shape, but whenever Celtic have sustained, like, pressure on the ball, essentially, you kind of see them drop in a little bit just to kind of cut those simpler passes off. So we're being forced to take longer ones, which is probably why we're doing it a bit more and giving it away. So I think most of us are in agreement. Being 1-0 up, yeah, we'll take it, but could it be better? Yeah, absolutely. I think O'Neill will be saying the same thing at half time. You know, he'll be sitting there probably smoking a very, very old cigarette, just, right, boys, when you go out there for the second half, can you just fucking not do whatever it is that I just seen there, please? Like, fuck's sake, man, I trust you, I love you, bro, but that's just not how you do it. Just gotta be better than that, man. You know what I mean? He's gonna be frustrated, but he'll be, like, softly frustrated. He won't be like, see, if you cunts don't wake up, I'm going to start smashing houses. Like, nah, he'll be okay. He'll just pretty much have that approach of get it done, right? Go out in the second half, put the pressure up. I think as long as we make the right changes in the second half, we should be realistically okay. Maeda's been so wasteful. Yeah, I can't honestly disagree with that with this one. I think this new striker would be better with Tanetti playing beside him. I feel like it would make sense in the sense, like, if we brought Tanetti on, I think it would give us a bit more direction in terms of, like, that cutting, which is what we've been talking about with Yang doing on the other side. We just discussed it literally less than 2 minutes ago. So yeah, I think Tanetti would probably be one of the first changes to look at, I'd imagine. But again, if you take Maeda off, then you don't have that natural potential striker source that you could keep on the pitch, because Thomas might be the one that comes off, right? Kenny might come on, for instance, and or maybe we take a winger risk and bring Tanetti on and push Maeda central. Like, we don't want to make that change too early. I feel like if we do it, like, right at the start of the half, it kind of fucks up tactical tweaks that we could make, especially if, you know, Hearts go and score in that opening 15-minute stint to the second half. As soon as Celtic are under pressure, we shut the bed and start flat. To be fair, it's not as if we've been under that pressure. We put ourselves under that pressure. Like I said, the only reason that Hearts had that chance was because Trusty, for whatever reason, thought he'd be Karate Kid and try and touch it into the net, but we'll touch it back to Schmeichel, and he ends up kind of putting Casillas through in there, I should say, and thankfully Schmeichel does what he needs to do. Can't stand some of these refs. Yeah, I think that's honestly fair, to be honest with you. It's just the inconsistency, right? Like, I mean, Hearts were getting away with a couple of fouls that they maybe shouldn't have, the same way that Celtic were. It's just, if you're going to give a foul that's a foul 1 minute and then not the next, then you're obviously going to have a few questions. Let's have a little check to see what's happening in this one. Half time, still all square in that one. Although Rangers have picked up the pace towards the end of the second half, they're still all square, so that's interesting. If you want a little look at the table and what that means so far, if it's updated, it has. That's what it means. It's pretty dead set, to be honest with you. I don't know why it's not letting me drag this down. What the fuck are you doing? I was going to say it was, like, delayed as hell for some reason. But yeah, if you'll have a little look at the table there, we're doing pretty good in that sense, right? Hearts 3 points away from us if we keep things as is, so that's not too bad at all. Very pleased on that front. Do your job, you was. I'd love to, let's see Martin O'Neill lose his shit and say that, man. Tom English saying on the radio that Celtic started to fall back in a couple of mistakes, but the luck needs to go with you sometimes. I'm confused. Where is the luck? I mean, like, again, I get it if Hearts were running through us and absolutely dominating, but no, they've been just as stale as we have. They've had that big chance, but that's not lucky if the goalkeeper comes out and makes a good save. It was lucky how Hearts got the chance. If you want to talk about teams that have had luck, then I guess it would be the other way around. But nah, neither team's necessarily been lucky in this game. That's putting it nicely. It's not the Celtic way when we go 1 or 2 goals up, we don't park it, we keep it going. This team are straight backs. Yeah, it's one of my predictions 2-1. Like I said, we just wanted to win the day. I don't think many people thought it would have been like a scampering. You know, based on what we see against Bologna, we know that defending isn't necessarily our strength, and as the kind of half drags on, fatigue might be a very crucial question that might need to be asked. That's probably why we have a few more defensive options on the bench, especially, you know, players like Ralston and Donovan that might definitely probably feature at some point, especially if Tierney's legs start to tire out, or Araujo's, but Araujo's been quite consistent. I've liked what we've seen for it. You know, I cannot complain in the slightest at all. We've had a pretty good half. But, like I said, I don't think anyone's necessarily been at their best, let's be honest with you. It'd be like a 6 out of 7 type of performance. I thought Virtual was already in the Discord, fair enough. Nice to have you on there, brother. Yeah, I think the last thing we want to be doing is parking the bus. I mean, Hearts have had at least let's say, I say that they've had more chances. Keep in mind those 4 off target were like howlers from outside the box, right? They've had maybe 1 actual clear cut chance. Let's be honest. I mean, what does it summary say? Does it really clarify? Oh, I can't. Can I? I don't know if I can or not. that there is a thing that I can. Like, yeah, I suppose if you go into live score, you can take a gander at the save yourself. I'm not going to play it for obvious reasons, but that was you can see Trusty just on the edge of there. Not the greatest, but it's on X if you want to take a gamble. I just can't play it for copyright. The main thing is that we get 3 points. Yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement with you there, Harry. I think as long as we don't fuck it, right? Like, Bologna's a different story, right? We were down to 10 men, conceding twice, you know, that's going to happen. But in this game, yeah, we just need to wake up a little bit more. It's the polar opposite. We just need a bit more energy. And as long as we can keep them under the caution, do it all day, and for the first like 15 minutes specifically, it's going to be really hard for Hearts to make those chances. It will depend on what McInnes does tactics, right? Like, I mean, if he changes them up, it could be interesting, but he doesn't tend to unless there's a real reason to. So it'll be fun. Because if he does make any changes, it's pretty much how O'Neill counteracts them. You know, like if they decide to go for a bit more of a set midfield, they bring on someone like a McCowan who can hold up the ball a lot better and get in behind with the shots for range, or they bring on someone like Bernardo who's a more technically gifted midfielder that can actually just keep the ball at his feet, especially if you're trying to bum minutes out later in the game, if it's still 1 or 2-0, you know, or even if it's all square, whatever score line it may be. It's an interesting one, right? Like, this game is certainly not dead and buried by any stretch of the imagination just yet. Like, if Celtic score very quickly out in the start of the second half, then yeah, I feel like a lot of people will kind of, from that point, kind of go, right, well, Celtic should win from here, it shouldn't be too complicated at all. But you never know, right? Again, second halves are always weird for Celtic, because sometimes they're really fucking good and we go and score 2, 3, 4, 5 goals, and then there's times where we absolutely capitulate and do very little of note. And my fear is that we kind of have a similar situation like we have against Falkirk. If any of you watched that game that was 1-0, it's the same type of vibe. If any, like, do you agree with me here? It's that type of, like, Celtic clearly have, despite being the better side, haven't really been a good side. It's not like neither team's fucking excellent, right? But Hearts are obviously going to make you work for it. Main thing is that we got rid of the dead weight in that team. There's, I mean, in comparison to the last Hearts match, yeah, I mean, it's a lot better in terms of just overall performance. It's just we need to see a bit more on the offensive front. That'd be nice. We need Carter Vickers, Jota and actual Johnston. Any one of them being back in this team would be a massive morale boost. I mean, I know from what's been said, it was pretty much like Carter Vickers isn't due back pretty much until the end of the season. He'd be lucky if he's even fit by the kind of pre-season type territory, according to what's been said. Jota and Johnston are due both back in March, from what I know. Similar type of like recovery time frames and things like that, so they should be coming back around the same time, either right at the end of February or pretty much the start of March. As for any actual, fuck knows, honestly, the guy's just, it's a shame, because obviously he came back and then got injured immediately, and that's why I'm like, even if he does come back, we need to take a slow approach and not play him out the gate, give him some substitute minutes. And obviously if Shinchara comes on and starts playing really fucking well, like if he goes out in the second half, scores a hat-trick, there's not going to be too many incentives to not play him over in the actual, so it's one of those ones. Falkirk was definitely a fucking brutal watch, man. It was nice to see us get the win. That's why I'm like, if it's a game like that, I won't mind it too much, because at the end of the day, it is 3 points, but it's that kind of uncomfortable, boys, like, please, don't concede in the 95th minute through some stupid defensive error, man. Like, you just kind of have the fear of God in the back of your mind, like, don't, please, for all that's holy. And the second half's about to get underway relatively soon. Like I said, the way we've been playing so far, not the best. And get a decent second half going, that'd be very fucking nice. There's still all square in this one, so as the table stands, Celtic will have outright secured second by a grand total of 2 points, while being 3 points behind first. So we put ourselves in a very decent position if things stay as is. Obviously, things are subject to change. If Hearts equalise, then it's not ideal for us, because then the roles basically reverse. And if Rangers score against Dundee, then they're the ones that are on 47. And we'll be the ones that are on 40, well actually no, we wouldn't, we would be on 45, right, yeah. But second half, it's kicked off. Come on boys, a decent performance would be nice. Get a little draw of this, and then we'll focus up on the game. And there's been some interesting football results as a whole over the last kind of few days. I don't know if anyone was watching it yesterday, but the Liverpool and Bournemouth game, fuck me, the end of that was dramatic as hell. Oh, it's a loose giveaway. Skills wins it back, thankfully for us. Oh yeah, Kev, how many likes are we on, big man, if you don't mind telling me? Are we close to we're close to the 20-25 mark that we usually set. I love how they bring up that stat right out the fucking second half. Goals conceded between 46 and 60 minutes. Second in the league is us. Between Livingston and Kelly, we're on 8. So yeah, this is the most dangerous time for us, the 15 minutes after the second half. Because let's be honest, watched what happened to us in fucking Europe as well. It's the same thing. We conceded in like the 55th and then capitulated. So we don't want to do the same type of shit. That's a loose ball in behind. Oh, trusties, that's awkward. He gets there. That's, I respect. Oh, now he goes down holding his ankle. Oh, mate, this guy is a gimp. Fuck off, man. That's why I have a lot more respect. Even Braga comes up and picks him up as if to say, mate, just don't. Like, he gets challenged, still goes to win the ball, but the second he loses the ball, oh, my ankle. My ankle, oh. Oof, yeah, no, I mean, and Trusty won the ball anyway. So what the fuck's he bitching about? That is what it is, I suppose. Well said, mate. I missed her comment. She said something recently. Ball into the box is headed up my way. Back into space. No, I don't like that. That's a good step inside. Hearts definitely came out with a bit more urgency in the second half. There was already a lot more of a high line press. Just the 15 now. Not too bad at all. Corner kick to come in. Well, set pieces have been pretty consistently a problem for us, let's be honest. to be swung in. This could pretty much go anywhere, to be honest. I don't know why we're zonal marking this. Got like 5 of them on their own. Oh, you're fucking kidding me on, man! You don't get beat at your near post that fucking easily, Chief. Finlay squeezed it in at the back post. It's one apiece. And the first time they actually create something of their own fucking volition, it's gone into the back of the net. Schmeichel, you need to switch the fuck on there, man. It's near post. You're anchored there for a fucking reason. You got people on the front post. That's fine. So when you go over towards your near post, you should save that, man. It is so fucking pathetic. It's like, it's a well-placed header. You can't take anything away from it. But why is it any time we play Hearts we can see just a stupid fucking corner? It's not that hard to save, Schmeichel, man. Your leg's made out of fucking cheese strings, bro. Every time I want to give the boy credit, he makes a great fucking save in the first half and then follows it up by doing that. It is not a hard one to keep out the fucking net, yet somehow Hearts are back in the game. One apiece. Fucking brilliant. Well done, boys. Showing exactly that fucking problem that we were just discussing in the halftime team talk. Fucking hell, man. I'm frustrated. I can only imagine how O'Neill fucking feels, because he would have been explicitly saying, do not do that. And we've gone ahead and done that. That's so fucking shit, man. The slow motion replay does not give Casper any real bailout there. Nah, he should have saved it. It's goal number 13 for Hearts for a corner this season though, man. They're fucking potting off on that front. Give them credit where it's due, I suppose. They certainly know how to make advantage of set pieces. And we're certainly fucking brilliant in making sure that we concede for them. Nonetheless, it's kind of what I was expecting. So we just have to hope the second fucking goal comes in our favour rather than theirs. Set piece yet again. It does, it sucks, man. Nice little pop and press there, but it looks like it went out of play. Yep. Throw in for us. Yeah, Jam. Honestly, if you get us in as tactical fucking coaches, we predicted this shit, we foreseen it like the prophecy. Yeah, O'Neill's eyebrows are below his glasses line, so you know he's not fucking happy, man. You can tell that on the outside he looks, you know, a bit frustrated, but on the inside he is probably fucking, he is furious. Because it's not as if we've been making chances of our own. That's a decent ball forward. If Schwanchara can chase that down, he might get there, but slows down towards the end of it, realising that there was no one to really even cross it to, even if he did get there, so it was a bit of a wasted run. We want to see a bit more for him. A bit more for people in general. Rio's off the bench and getting warmed up, so he might be one of the first changes. Get some more signings in now. Yeah, we still have basically 5 or 6 days. We'll need to take advantage of them somewhere or another. Got to give Hearts a credit though. They came out in the second half with a lot more oomph in their step. Scotland managers here obviously watching some of the talents for the upcoming World Cup. Of course, that's not too long now actually. But I say that's still like 5 months away, minimum. See, Martin says he's been getting impatient with the board as well. Well, yeah, I mean, since he's came in, we've signed a guy on loan. And that's like basically it. Araujo was signed before he even came in, right? So, despite him being a new addition, it's not necessarily an O'Neill type of addition. The only one he's really got through the doors from Chara, and that was pretty much like a, because we had to get someone in before, you know, things got way out of hand. Because if we haven't made a signing to that point, man, fucking hell, the board would be having some Pretty interesting protests going on. But like I said, the team is still very much strong enough to win these types of games. They need to just dig in where it matters. I like the fact that Maeda engaged in the press there. And apparently that's a fault. Maeda just puts a bit too much pressure on. He needs to just calm it down a bit. Love that he looks like he's out of the Yakuza, but just needs to slow down the aggression a tad. Oh, no any signings. Will be loans until the end of the season because of manager, though. Maybe. But apparently Rangers have got a penalty. Well, that pretty much reverses the roles then. It'd be Rangers that would go into second on 47, lead on 45 if they score that penalty. Is it deserved? That's the only thing I want to know. Is it like an actual penalty though? Like, as long as it's genuine, then fair enough. But if it's one of those dodgy fucking calls, I will not be happy. If it's valid, then fair enough. Let's try and send this one forward. A little pop around, and that's what I'm saying. We're starting to sit 5 yards in deeper than we should. This is a big... What a fucking Liam Scales. The rest of you, go fuck yourselves, but Liam Scales, what a fucking challenge that is, big man. That was massive. If he didn't stick his... What are you punching that out for, Casper, man? Yeah, the boys have got a bit fucking rattled here. That challenge for Liam Scales is brilliant. No other words need to be said, man. He's the only one that stays fucking switched on and sees the other two runners. Does well enough to stick his leg out, but... Case in point, man. Just stagnant fucking standing there, boys. You spread the fuck out and stop the runs. Doing this zonal pish makes no fucking sense. You had all 4 defenders in a 6-yard span there. You literally take a fucking, like, chalk piece and draw a circle and all 4 of them could be fucking in there. Why are yous all so compressed? Yeah, showing that Scales challenge back, it's fucking brilliant, man. Oh, Maeda tries to make a run forward, but we lose out there. It's going to be sent forward, and we're pretty much playing like how Hearts did in the opening 15-20 minutes. Nah, I wouldn't be too pissed off about it if it's valid. Like I said, it shouldn't be, you know, we shouldn't be putting faith in other teams to do the job for us. We need to do it ourselves. A win here would still keep us on pace. But it looks like the boys have forgotten their form, it seems, especially over the last 10 minutes. A lot different than the first half. Like I don't know what it is, man, but it's like the reverse of Rodgers. Do you know how, like, under Rodgers, the second half would be better? It's just the polar opposite now. Trustate panics for some reason. He had about 15 fucking free yards to control that. Instead, he just punts it straight into another boy in Maroon. And he's Hearts another chance to press. I don't like how fucking leggy these cunts are starting to look. I get yous have played minutes in Europe, but it's very noticeable how leggy some of these boys are playing now. It's a loose touch in the first half and all of that, so at least we got a throw in to get some minutes. One like that, although no, but let's just check and confirm. They have indeed scored. Can't really argue with that one too much. I'm gonna go on to X or whatever the fuck it is and see if it was a penalty or not. Kabori was just trying to chase that one down there. I had to look up just in case there was something. Let's have a look. Yeah, Tavernier scored the penalty. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, it's 100% a penalty, man. One of the I think it was Hamilton. Hamilton went through the back of him. I think it was on Raskin or something. He just two-footed him. It's a penalty. It's more than Fine. Sub-time though, 100% Harry, I do agree there. We do need to think about some legs, and again, McCowan didn't feature against Bologna, so now would be the time, ideally, to use him. Just saying. Guy actually really likes to play for the team and represents the badge quite well. It's games like this where substitutions like him would make sense. So they do well to win that one back on. Back to Tierney. And that's given away. Now Hearts can break forward on their own fucking front again. Like, I get that it's just so pathetically fucking sad how lads, just take an extra touch. Stop trying to be too fancy. There's another giveaway. Advantage has been played. Chance for Hearts to maybe get something to go here. Cross into the box is dangerous enough. It's another half-arsed clearance. Why is Yang on the right-hand side? I don't fucking know. Tries to win the header straight into another Hearts body. Svinchara tries to win that one back and doesn't necessarily do the best job on that front either. A little awkward now. Ball played forward. Chase in behind. Certainly playing with a lot more... I was going to say, like, because it was for range, I was half expected it to just phase through Schmeichel, but it was a very soft shot. Bounced like twice before it reached the Danishman. Yeah, looks like they've picked up the form. Not so much for us. We have been very stale, to put it nicely. You know what I mean? We certainly have had some lacklustre passes. I mean, the passes are what are pissing me off the most, to be honest. Should be doing a lot fucking better, especially with like it's just the simple stuff. Like when we get down to the bylines, it's fine, and then they just stand there. Nobody wants to cut in or take the gamble to get across the line. Svinchara just looks a little bit kind of leggy and lacklustre. And yeah, shit like that. There's another chance. It's a header off the bar. Case in point. First biggest. It is genuinely, as we're saying, that's a lovely cross into the box. It's awkward to say the least for Gordon. Right as we're saying, we need to see something for Svinchara. He does pop up with something. It just doesn't work out for us. It's a little unlucky. That's very kind of you. Cheers for joining us for 14 months now, Kevin. Fucking hell, that's mad. Absolutely insane. Thank you very much, mate. You are appreciated. That's a... Sorry, there's just a really good attack right now. I'm holding on until this is over with. Araujo skips past his man, but also hits the ball way too hard for it to be anything besides a shit touch, and he gives it away. Same shit as always, man. Would you bring on Hatate? Nah, McCowan, for me. Let's say, I don't understand why we wouldn't, but I don't even think he's on the fucking bench. Is he on the bench? I need to check. McCowan, yeah, get him on. Get him and Tenecte on the pitch fucking pronto. Tenecte for the runs, McCowan for the hold-up, playing the ball in behind. We need something, man. Just something, I know. I mean, nah, bro, you're more than fucking fine. You're absolutely more than fine. You're more than appreciated, my guy. Anyone that keeps a membership running for 14 months is, I'm tapping my hat to. Especially considering that's something I really don't ask for. I ask for subscribers and likes, sure, but... Or else we'll just send that one up the line. That's a good pass. A bit calmer. The passing is a lot better from us here, actually. We're picking up a bit fucking deeper in. That's a touch. That's better. Svinchara, darts forward. Get the ball across! Get the ball across! Please! Yes! Yes! Svinchara pops up with something brilliant! That's what we see! That's what we need from a striker! Welcome to the fucking club, big man! That is exactly what we needed! What a fucking run! Lovely finish for the South Korean. Got to give fucking nothing but credit to the big Czech. Oh, what a fucking... That is brilliant, man. Finally. Some good fucking food. It's a lovely wee touch for Maeda. He thinks he could get round to it, but Svinchara's like, nah, fuck it, bro, I'm taking this. I'm going to run it in. And it's a perfect, lovely, soft-weighted pass across. It's just in that area where the goalkeeper can't really decide whether he should go or not. And he doesn't. And thankfully for us, Yang is switched on as fuck, makes a brilliant run. And for whatever reason, the man on form for us seems to be Yang when it comes to getting goals anyway. But the striker made that one. Brilliant for Thomas. Excellent for Yang. We've got a fucking lead back, boys. Do not lose it now, please. Make me right for 2 games in a row, man. We foresee it. Oh, that's good. Svinchara's going to go into the book for celebrating with the fans. However, fuck that. I mean, I remember, does anyone remember the certain debutant that scored against Hearts and then went to celebrate in front of their fans and got booked? Scott Sinclair. Same type of vibes, anyone? Oh, that's because the Hearts player went down diving like a wee bitch. Nothing too surprising about that, to be honest. He's in the book. I thought it was for celebrating with the fans. Apparently it was just a off the ball incident. Go on. Well, Alan, we now have a firm grip. Some would say a gorilla grip on this game. Fucking much better for this, man. That one little break has given me so much joy. Tact is looks like Tact might be one of the ones coming on. Might be the type of changes that we're hoping to see. That's good. Oh, whoa, 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 there was an off the... There, I just seen a fucking push and a half. There's got to be some cards coming out there. Negron's just got fucking floored. Yellow card is indeed brandished. But there was a push off the ball as well. Magnuson's definitely going to go into the book, 100%. The Icelandic boy went straight through... Yeah, no, 100%. It was the off the ball afterwards. Was there another booking? There should have been. I was like, oh, Svinchara's going to come off. Yep, that's what I was thinking. Maeda's probably going to go central. Tanecti's going to go out in the left. Well, thank you for contributing, Thomas. You've done more than most strikers have done for us this fucking season. Nice to see someone hit the ground running for this club. Very solid. Another signing this season for us comes on to replace him. Tanecti in his spot. So Maeda goes central, Tanecti out left, and you would imagine Yang would stick to his spot out on the right hand side. Good shift for the Czech. More than happy with that, big man. Good assist and a header off the ball. Solid. Especially considering the fact we had nothing going for us about 5 minutes beforehand. So a little bit more of an approach face. Let's see if there's any updates in the other game. Still 1-0 between Rangers and Dundee. So things basically stay as is now. Celtic and Rangers would both be tied on points. Celtic still leading on goal difference. Alan just took one to the head there. I've seen that a bit late there. I just turned around and caught the replay with the corner of my eye. It's been stopped for... I mean, he has a right to be a bit miffed and staying down, but respectfully get on your feet on. If it's no crippling you, then you should be on your feet, mate. You don't want to slow the game down when you've actually got the momentum. Celtic have woken up a little bit. But it will just give Hearts that incentive to go forward a bit more. Like they said, a point's not worst case scenario for them. It would still keep a respectable 4-point gap between them. Well, I'd imagine it would be Rangers if they stay ahead against Dundee. There's a shot, there's a half appeal for Tanecti for a handball, but he cannoned the shot into him. It's not as if he could really do much else, and I don't even think it really came off his hands, so nothing's really going to come of that. Played out towards the far side. Milner just slows it down and goes for the long switch across towards his centre-back compatriots. A nice wee touch as well. It stables him quite nicely to pick anyone on the left-hand side. It's a good cut in. Keeping the movement decent, solid enough. It's a throw-in for them. Oof, it's a loose giveaway though. McGregor does well to pickpocket it and we can run forward. Negron cuts it. Maeda. It looks like Maeda's actually on the right hand side. I don't know if we're just doing the rotary winger system again. I'd imagine that might be it. Not Dundee. I mean, if Dundee get an equaliser, it would be quite nice, but like I said, it's not too detrimental. We keep control in our own hands, and that's good enough for me, honestly. But Hearts are going to make it difficult. Well, I'd say 23, it's more like 22 minutes now. Also trying to move it with a bit more purpose. Nice pass inside. They're trying to dance around a bit more. Kabore does well to get through there. He's just got pushed over. That's going to be a fault. For once he didn't dive. Nice to see. Pretty straightforward. Young just kind of goes through the back of him again. Good physicality from Young, but yeah, way too rough. Pretty straightforward free kick for them. It'll be interesting to see where this one comes in. It's right, okay, we've cut the zonal shit, which is so much better to see. It's man marking now. We're not doing that shit where we're just trying to protect the zone. Big deflection from the rebounded shot doesn't really go anywhere. Young just tries to kind of pop in and get it away, only does about 5 yards. Much more vibrant second half from both sides. More shots from both teams, more firepower. They've got to give the Hearts credit, man. They're playing some nice stuff at the edge of our box here. Cuts inside, might go for a whip cross, blocks again. Celtic are defending just as resolutely as Hearts are attacking. Played out to the far side again, and another Celtic block. Young's going to try his best to body this one up, and does. Araujo slices the clearance, but does get it just about towards the edge of the circle on Hearts' half. There was a chase down there, doesn't necessarily work out. Young does a respectable enough job, but it was always going to kind of come straight back after him out for a throw-in. Well, we're on a slight break though. If you don't mind, please consider subscribing. It's the best thing you can do to help us. If you're new here anyway. If not, then please consider leaving a like. If we can get towards 25 by the end of the stream, that would be absolutely fantastic. Just updated the table there, as you can see. Well, for those that can't see, I'll show you in like a second on this. Once it updates, it usually takes a minute after Sky does it, but yep, we are tied on points with Rangers ahead by goal difference on one single goal, so still in second. Looks like there's going to be a few changes for Hearts now. And that's one of the boys I was talking about pre-match. McKenty seems to be one of those switches. It's a nice little pop-up, good steal from McGregor, just lays it across. We tried to funnel that one up the space, but very well dealt with by Hearts to get a leg in the way for a throw-in for us. And it looks like Hearts are going to bring those changes on now. The new McKenty would probably feature at some point, that was always going to be the case. But McCartan and Magnuson are off, and it will be McKenty and Karjota that's going to be coming on. Can't say I recognise Karjota. Is he a new signing or something for Hearts? I honestly don't know. If there's any Hearts fans in chat, please update me on that. It's not a name I recognise, but Tierney's gone down with shit. He's holding that left leg again, which is never a good sign. My hope is that it's just a bit of cramp, but you'd imagine we might be warming up Donovan potentially to be coming on, unless we decide to switch Scales out to the left, but don't see too much point in doing that. Tierney's not the type to go down unless it's something relatively serious. Working on both his legs now. It definitely seems like he's cramped up. They've dealt with his left leg, now they're on his right one. Interesting. Jumbo's going to be looking over the shoulder now. The Glasgow Freight Trains are chasing them down. Everyone said this like a few months ago. Like when Hearts had that original 10, 11 point gap at the top, it's what most people were kind of talking about. Look, it doesn't really matter. They still need to play Celtic and Rangers a whole bunch of times, and unless obviously, oh my god, it looks like we're going to be pushing Scales out to the left and Dane Murray's going to be coming on. I don't know how to feel about that, because Dane is not exactly experienced, and it's 20 minutes against the top of the table team. I'm not sure how to feel about that one. Nonetheless, the change has been 100% confirmed. Can't argue. Not too much time left now. Ball played in, hooked away. Also going to try and go forward with us. A really decent ball as well. Kabori's got away for Trusty, and Trusty's brought him down. It's a definite tangle of bodies. There might be a yellow coming out here. I really hope it's not a red. I'm hoping that the referee... Yeah, it's going to be a yellow. He definitely caught his man, but I think Kabori collided with him, and that's what the referee's probably going to argue. And I think that's why, because yeah, Kabori comes across and grabs Trusty. Trusty in turn kind of brings him down. It's fair, but it's a close one. It's because Kabori kind of bounces his elbow off of Trusty. Yeah, it's a physical battle, so... But yeah, Trusty has not fucking woke up a lot there. It's just because Kabori grabs him first. That is the only thing that saves that for being a red. And I think that's what the referee is trying to like explain to the Hearts players that are obviously complaining. I can see why that would piss a lot of Hearts fans off. But the yellow is, I think it's just about fair. VAR's checked it and it's been confirmed. The yellow is as it will stand, I think. Don't think it's obvious enough to overturn, but they are checking it. Because I think that's what the question will be from VAR. Is like, well, I mean, there is that potential pull first, so they're probably going to just check that up and make sure that there's make sure it's what the referee's saying. Because it's too far away for it to be a goal scoring opportunity, right? Like if Kabori gets through there, he's still about 35 yards minimum from net, so I don't think that's the argument. But he is going to look about, I think he is going to take a look. Which is right beside all of the Hearts fans that will probably be shouting, so this is... This is interesting. For last... Not, well, I mean, it's not last man, because there's a guy literally about right on level with Trusty running back at the same time. It's definitely not last man, and it is too far away for it to be a last, a clear run through on goal. Kabori grabs Trusty first, but Trusty brings him... It's one of those really awkward ones, but the referee's going to get fucking biased here, isn't he? He's just had to go and look at a monitor in front of every single fucking Hearts fan, so yeah, card's going to come out. Red card's been given. Trusty's not had a great day here, let's be honest. I gotta say, it's a soft red or a harsh yellow. Like, no matter what way you want to fucking put it, I don't think a red card's valid though. Yeah, no, I can't really justify that being a straight red, to be honest. It's that Kabori has been hitting the ground every time he's been touched as well, so just for that perspective, he's a pathetic wee cunt. I think the yellow would have honestly been more of a valid call, but can't argue with it at the same time. If they think it's a red, it's a red. It's one of those. Young's going to be coming off for Ralston, and we're going to have to defend with 10 men for the second game in a row. But at least it shuts the fucking Rangers fans up. They keep going, oh, but yous never get red cards. The same way that they always never get fucking penalties. It's the same shit always, but we have to move. SFA gets that one wrong, I think, but I don't know if it's just because of the green tinted specs a little. I'm just trying to think about it from a logical standpoint. If it's like 10 yards closer, aye. But, it's just because Kabori grabs him first. That's the only part of it that I'm like, he engages in the fucking challenge. But Trusty's dumb enough to bite back, I suppose. That's pretty much the same way that I looked at the Rio situation. It's harsh. But sometimes you just got to accept it. Second time in a fucking row though. Back-to-back games for us. I'm going to need to show some resiliency one way or another. That's going to be great. That's a good break for Patea, so it's going to be stole back, but we'll just kind of burn seconds off the clock for this point. It's going to go out on the far side. I mean, it's even worse that we just took off one of our key fucking fallbacks for Dane Murray as well, but now we've got Ralston as well. It's not the best defensive lineup. No, it was Reds seen Reds given for other teams against us, and we got a free kick at Parhead. I was just hopeful. But Trusty Day has been woeful, fucking needless. Yeah, it's one of those, really. I'm not going to bitch about it too much. Like, I can get either side of the argument. If it was a yellow, it would have been fair. If it's a red, then I guess it's fair, but a tad soft for me. You just got to accept it, move on. You still have the game in control, at the very least. You've got that lead, so it's about protecting it now. But Hearts will smell the blood in the water for absolute sure. Scored right after the last red, so heads up, true. Although, to be fair, the guy that scored when we got that last red was also the guy that's just been recorded in this one. It would be hilarious if Trusty just ran off the bench and scored a header real quick for the vibes, but I don't think that would happen. But Celtic will need to do what Hearts have been doing for most of this game and just try and win any loose foul by any means necessary. Start hitting the ground every time. Try and be as frustrating as pretty much possible. Pretty sure it's just a one-game suspension. What am I thinking of European rules? I honestly don't know. It's a good pop-up and steal there. Hearts are obviously going to keep bitching at the referee every time there's a call that goes against them, but they're going to stay down. He did get clipped. And Ralston kind of plays it across to him, calm enough, and then yeah, I mean there's two fouls pretty much within like a 5 millisecond period there actually. That's why we need to sign a centre back, lads. That's why we've been saying it for a good while now. Pretty much since the start of fucking goddamn November we've been saying an extra centre back would be useful. 5 or 6 days until the window closes, still no fucking sign of that. Ida will chase that down. I respect it. I mean, he got there, he got a touch. Hearts fans put, well, I mean the Hearts player pushes him and he just gives him a wry smell as he runs past. Thought in the league it was 3 games for a straight red and 1 game for 2 yellows. No, it's 5 yellows. 5 yellows is a 1-game suspension, and I think a red's either 1 or 2. If it's a straight red anyway. Usually if it's more than 2, it's for like a cynical red, like a cynical foul as they call it, like one that is like a leg breaker, you know, or a elbow to the face type thing. Like Trusty didn't do too much to warrant that being anything other than like a softer red, so 1 or 2 games I think. I believe 2, but I could be wrong. Well, the Irishman on Hearts' side, McKenty is going into the book. They're getting a bit desperate with the fouls now, kind of clipping at the heels of Celtic whenever they can, which you understand, they're trying to get back into the game, but it's coming at the cost of obviously Celtic just burning extra seconds off the clock whenever those free kicks come up. And obviously with that VAR check that took a few minutes, so will be probably about 2 or 3 added minutes minimum at the end of the 90, so probably about 10 minutes minimum from here. Don't know if that's a corner or not. Nah, looks like it came off in on it. I know you could get like 10 or 15 different players that would genuinely probably make sense for Celtic that are under 10 million. Like, you think with all the time that they've got, that's... How the fuck is that a foul for... Okay, fair enough, man. This referee's so genuinely confusing. Nygren, I'm pretty sure he was the one that was getting pulled first. Replay doesn't show shit, so I suppose there is that. That was very kind of you, Flash, thank you. Nah, pretty much from this point, mate, yeah. Switched into the box from Hearts, headed on, and away by McGregor, calm enough. We the bad boys of Scottish football all of a sudden. Nah, it's just that most people are kind of, at least if you're a neutral or if you're not Celtic or Rangers, you'll be back in Hearts. Unless you'll be, in fact, I stand corrected because you're going to have Hibs on it. That's a safest Schmeichel. Oh, fucking hell, Casper. Good fucking reactions, mate. You've redeemed yourself for the goal that they fucking scored at the start of the half, because that genuinely is good reflex stop. Brilliant reflex stop. Again, I don't understand why we can't defend for shit when a ball comes into the box, but he does well enough to kind of just scrape it. So eventually clear the way off the line, I think, with a mix of Schmeichel and, I think, Arn. But yeah, Dane just... This is why I'm saying Dane is not a smart choice here, because he could just head it out, but he heads it down into the fucking ground and causes a problem. Kid doesn't look convinced at all, honestly. But we'd survive it. Another corner kick to come in for Hearts. Young Mills can't take it, fucking too, right, mate? I wouldn't have minded it if Trusty got booked in like the 95th fucking minute or something, then you'd be like, alright, cool, whatever. But no, we basically had to play the final third of this game without our main centre back. When we're already down another main centre back, our main fucking fullback. There's a shot from the deflected corner for the edge of the area for Hearts, but it was never going to be too threatening there. Don't know who was on the end of it, I'll be fully honest. I think it was a 29. Yeah, unfortunately he's not like the Jota that we have. Time is ticking away for them. Let's have a quick little gander around here, see what's happening in this little match. Still 1-0 to Rangers, although, again, they're keeping their form up here. Well, at least trying to make it a little bit more difficult, Dundee. They've only had 2 shots off target this half, though, so I don't think they'll be doing any damage towards the end of the night for the boys across the city. Let's see where this one goes. That's an awkward deflection. They could chase it down. Araujo does the right thing, but he's just put himself way out of position. We're already down a bunch of fucking defenders, man. Please don't gander forward when you don't need to. The ball is bouncing about the place. There's just trips all about. For fuck's sake, man. There could have been a foul for Celtic, could have been a foul for Hearts. And the referee eventually pulls it back for a foul for Hearts. Because of course he does. Fucking pathetic, man. Same shit as always. Sick and fucking tired, man. You already know what's coming. It's a set piece. We did not look convincing in the last one, that is for sure. Ball crossed in, it's up and awkward. No one's tracked the fucking run. Track the run? Oh my fucking god, man! Yep, it's 2 apiece. What else can you say there besides for like, it's the same shit. You could see it before, as soon as they won that foul. You could tell what was going to fucking happen. Dane does not position himself anywhere fucking near where he needs to there. Everyone gets too spread out, and when the ball bounces down and away, nobody comes out to close down the shot. Despite everybody being in the 6 fucking yard box, basically, lads. That is... Oh, man. You've got like fucking 4 of them just standing there. If he doesn't hit it, there's about 2 or 3 others that could. Ugh, whatever. It's one of those, man. Fucking pathetic. I don't understand why we brought Dane Murray on. Useless, man. Well, if Trusty was the reason that we managed to get a point out of the last match, he's the sole reason that Hearts have managed to get a point out of this one. We have 4 minutes to potentially fucking lose this somehow. Excellent. Well, we're going to drop to third, I guess. Unless we can find a way to score in the last few minutes or something along those lines, but fucking hell, it's pretty unlikely. There's a push on all now. Team hasn't put 5 passes together. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones, isn't it? You have to fucking just sit there and smile through gritted teeth. Don't know why the fuck they're trying to get away with all that. Like, I'm just really frustrated at that. Like, you could tell as soon as they set up the way they did, because we went straight back to zonal marking. I don't get why we do fucking zonal marking. It makes no sense. Just mark your fucking man in that situation, especially when you're down to 10 and down a main defender. Things are getting way too fucking physical out there as well. Boys need to get their fucking shit out their arse, man. Like, it's just not good enough. 2 red cards in a row, 2-2 draws in a row. It's fine if you're looking at it from a perspective, at least it kind of keeps us within touching distance, but all we've really done is give Rangers the incentive to go and chase now. We're already playing with a stretched defence as it is, man. Just not good enough. McGregor and Arnold now both in the book as well. And the referee gives another full there away, for fuck's sake, man. Not even surprised by that. We'll get a 95th minute poo and I can feel it. Oh, fucking hope so. We need to be handed a bit of luck. Because we can get much else out of this game if things stay as is. A draw isn't necessarily great for Hearts, it's not exactly great for Celtic either. I think both teams will be kind of pissed off with the scoreline, to be honest, because, I mean, yeah, Hearts still have the lead, but it is still shortened, and for fuck's sake, Maeda, you got to try and get there, man. McGregor does the right thing to try and pickpocket it, but now we're fucking down a whole bunch of teams. It's one of those, man. 8 additional minutes to get through. Don't understand why they're pulling 8 minutes out their arse for, but it's obvious why they've done it. I can maybe see 3 or 4 minutes, especially the late goal, but 8 is a bit of a joke. Well, I suppose the one plus we can take out of this game is that we know we have a striker that can at least do something. That's nice. You know, silver lining and all that jazz. And also came out with a bit more prowess in the second half, give them credit where it's due. Well, it has been very, very soft in a lot of senses. I mean, the referee's been inconsistent as always for both fucking teams of the... Some fouls that Hearts should have got that they didn't. Celtic, fucking handful of them as well. So I don't think either team will be too particularly pleased. You know what I mean? Both teams will be like, yeah, it's a point. The only team that really benefits for this one is the team that isn't even playing in this game. But we're still looking for that first win against fucking Hearts this season, which is always fun. We would have had it if Trusty wasn't a dumbass. Cleared away and up and awkward, bounces around a few times, eventually gathered by Hearts. Will try and play it across the line and buy themselves a little bit of time to set up here. And it's a good pass into space. The ball over the top's a tad overhit, and there will be a chase down for it. And Dane, oh, for fuck's sake, man, like, this is what I'm talking about. He just is not good as a defender. I don't get why people hype this kid up. He looks completely fucking lost. It was offside anyway, like that's the only fucking saving grace of that, but bro made the most simple task look as stressful as possible there. Yeah, it was offside to be fair, so. Well, a few minutes left in this one now. It's a good flick on. Dyson's not really going to be able to do much except loiter there and hopes that it bounces to him, doesn't really do that. Araujo engages in the chase down. There's a slightly loose pass. Ralston will step out to make it awkward. Kabori will chase down. Scales does well. Kabori goes down looking for the foul because that is all this wee prick has done the entire game, by the way, man. I think I've seen him on the deck more than I've seen him run. Ralston's going to have to try and get this one up the line. Yeah, going down to 10 definitely didn't do us a lot of favours, to be honest with you, did it? Alright, let's be real, but I don't know, there's ways to be optimistic about this and ways to be very pessimistic. You can take either approach to this. Kabori has officially came off and Wilson is on. Definitely a very intense atmosphere though. Some boos and jeers basically going around the whole fucking stadium, not just from the Hearts supporters, mind you, but the Celtic ones too. And I do not think O'Neill will be too fucking pleased with this. We did well to respond to Hearts' opener in the second half to get that goal off of Shinvara's brilliant running behind the ball across to Yang. It got us 2-1 in front, but then, as things always tend to fucking happen with our club this season, just some random bullshittery that happens, and that would be Trustees red, and then it was followed up by some horrible set piece defending that you could fucking see from a mile away. And it's turned into a pretty intense ending because, like I said, it's still not fully done yet. Could be a winner in this one. Also trying to go for it. Celtic have just went fuck it and gone for a much higher line. Finally some sensible awareness for Dane to just mark his man and stop it from getting to the byline. Calm enough. You just got to send this up the pitch, Michael, man. Just try and get like a knock on, hope there's a loose runner or something, and we can maybe steal this game. It would be brilliant if we could. It'd be a fucking excellent result to get from here. With 2 minutes to play, it's not looking likely. Ball's going to be sent forward by Schmeichel up in the way. Let's win the knock on. It's going to be chased down at the very least. To Nectes, just pushed him off the ball. It's going to be a, for fuck's sake, yeah. It's another foul. Referee's having a melt, man. It's not a card as well, but nonetheless, he just likes to go and touch his wee pocket. A game full of cards, this one way or another. No corner type situation is probably what we want to avoid for here. When this free kick comes in, just do not let them get a shot away. Don't let them tip it in behind or anything. Which we might have just done. That's a fucking excellent challenge for Araujo. And the shot from Hearts, if that went in, I would have fucking cried. Big chance for Hearts right at the end there. They had it wherever in they had, but it just about fucking goes in our favour. He had it way too hard. I think if it just softly hit that, that could have been a lot more threatening. And it goes right over for us, thankfully. It was well struck. McGregor and Maeda both kind of worked to try and close that one down, but it just bounces off the top of the ball. Massive chance for the Jambos right at the end, but it's definitely a sole one to take for sure, Harry. I'm not in disagreement there, man. There's another yellow card coming out for fuck's sake, man. Case in point. Referee really likes to make this game about himself, which he's done again. SFA in a nutshell. Another one in the book for us. That's fucking awkward as hell now. It's bouncing around. And Araujo's getting in the face here. Another fucking Hearts player. Let's say it's getting way too intense towards the end of this one, 100%. But in any man, this has been and gone now, so it's pretty much just on the referee's time. You can imagine, if anything, we'll get this free kick and then that's it. Well, Martin O'Neill won't be too chuffed with us, I don't think. Let's see if there's any last ditch heroics, please, boys. It'd be fucking amazing. Ball into the box is awkward. Oh, it's going to go over everyone, basically, though. It's going to be cleared away, and the referee decides at full time is the call to make. It's not a bad point for either side in terms of the calibre of opposition, but it's a disappointing one on paper. Really, really should have beat them, and it's disappointing, but fair play to Hearts. They definitely came into the game towards the end of it. Obviously, a good amount of their chances after that red card. They managed to get their equaliser through that one as well. It's just disappointing that they always happen from fucking set pieces and corners. It doesn't matter what manager we have in charge. We need to figure out who our set piece coaches are, and fast, because it's happened too many times, man. That's all 3 games against Hearts that we've conceded some form of shitty set piece. And that equalising one's probably the worst of the lot, because after the bounce away that should have been red, there is just nobody marking the loose bounce at all. Super easy. I can't really give Schmeichel too much shit, because, I mean, yeah, for the first goal, should have saved it, but he pulled some cracking saves off, in fairness, so not too bad for him. Shanchara had an alright debut. I think he'll be a bit disappointed that the boys couldn't get across the line with what they had, but nonetheless, still decent enough for us to consider it a good performance for him. You know, he hit the ball with a header. If that going in, it probably would have killed the game dead, but he did pop up with that lovely assist and really good run for Yang's goal. So, you know, there is that. Don't think Hearts will be too pissed off with getting a point for this situation, although you feel like after Celtic went down to 10 men and they got the equaliser, they probably could have, and nearly did at the end of the game when they hit the ball. So it's one of those. Martin did well with what we had to deal with, but that centre, no, Dane Murray's just not it for me. I don't understand why people hype him up. I know that he can play good, but he really looked completely out of his depth when he came on off the bench, and they need to figure that out, because if he's going to be playing a key role in the seasons to come, he needs to get that fucking shakiness out of his system as fast as possible. Because even though that Kabore thing was offside, it was the way it happened, man. Murray is absolutely hopeless, can't hold the ball up, can't pass, doesn't give 100% like he used to, doesn't score as much. Yeah, it seems like that's the case. He just seems a wee bit tired. I get that he was, you know, a winger, so he had to get pulled over into the striker roles. He's, you know, already burned out of gas, but it would have been nice to see him at least try and chase down a few loose balls like we've seen him do. Even when he isn't at his best, he'll try and cut back and colour, but most of that today was actually done more or less by Yang, I would say. Like, Araujo did some good forward pressing as well for a full-back. Like, I can't say the performance was horrifically bad, but it wasn't great. Like I said, I think Celtic and Hearts can both agree neither team go out of second or third gear. It was definitely a case of Nerves getting the best of both sides, so a point seems probably about as fair as it can be. It's just disappointing because both sets of fans would have wanted to get the 3. A point isn't exactly great for Hearts because Rangers closed the gap, and for Celtic obviously it means that we're now behind them. So it's one of those. It's a bit of a sickener, to be honest, because after that second one goes in, you think we have the quality to get towards the end of the game, but pretty much exactly how Bologna played out. Referee makes a questionable red card call. I guess it is a red in the scheme of things. It's just my initial reaction is that it was just a bit too far out to consider it like a clean run through on goal. But referee, I guess, just saw differently, and that's the case it's been made. Hearts players playing for a free kick, any slight touches in the collapse. 100% agreed. I feel like that's like, if you're a Hearts fan, you're happy you got the point, but the way you got it's a bit like, really? Like, Kabore, for a guy as big and physical as he is, to go down as much as that boy did, I can't respect a striker like that, man. It is desperately poor. But, I mean, it worked, right? Because I managed to get a red card from it. So, it's one of those. It's you can't complain about it, right? I think a point's fair on the scheme of things. But it's a kick in the dick, man. It really does just not feel that great. But we'll kind of see. I think it ended, 3-0 to Rangers towards the end of the game. So, they kind of kicked on after we conceded our equaliser. They realised they had a chance, and that means table-wise, if you want a little gander at it before you head off, there's the table there. Rangers are now officially in second, it is confirmed. Celtic's third draw of the season makes sure that we go on to 45 points, so yeah, still not out of the title race by any means, but definitely not ideal when you consider the fact that we really could have done a lot more damage. But that is what it is, right? Give Rangers like credit for finding their form, but it's one of those where you're like, fuck's sake, man, we really should have just done so much better today. We should have done a lot better today, but the table is tight as fuck now. There is 6 points still between us and Hearts, but 4 points between Rangers and Hearts, so it'll be pretty interesting to see the next game between those two play out, because they might be able to do us a favour. Maybe Rangers do the same type of thing, get a draw, we get a win, we push ourselves right back into the title races. You have to take the optimistic approach when shit like this happens. So, yeah, fair enough. You know what I mean? Give Danny Rowe and these boys some credit, the same way you can give McInnes's credit for keeping Hearts in the title races long as they have. Will they still be there at the end of the season? As of now, based on that performance, will they fuck? It will be very straightforward for Celtic or Rangers to honestly canter them if they play at their best. Hearts did not really play as good as they know they should have, but that might be a testament to their credit, because if they can still get a point out of a game where they're not at their best, then it's a positive for them, right? Like, they won't hate it, but they know that they missed a trick today, especially when they got that equaliser. They had pretty much like 20 minutes to find a way to get a winner, so it just didn't work out for them. You know what I mean? I think both sets of fans, both managers, both sets of teams will be like, fuck me, that was just a frustrating one on all fronts. But sometimes they just happen. 6 points is better than 9. Exactly that, Crowtails. Couldn't have said it better, man. Like, you have to take the kind of optimistic approach. Scales made some unbelievable tackles. Yeah, no, genuinely, that tackle for Scales, like, the one where it bounced and he had to, like, stick his leg out when Kabori and, fuck, who was the other one? I can't mind who the other one is, but both of them went for, like, a run and he just stuck his leg out their nick of time. It was a lovely challenge. I can't fault the way we played. It wasn't a bad performance, it's just that we didn't get out of second or third gear, and that red card pretty much knocked us straight into first, and we didn't really fire on for there, you know what I mean? The car bumped out, the clutch bumped out, whatever the fuck you want to say, right? The fucking the goddamn brake wires have been cut, and we just crashed hard towards the end of that match and got very, very lucky towards the end of it, you know what I mean? I'd still say Celtic with a better team over the 90 minutes, but in the last 20 or so, Hearts were very much trying to go for blood, and that bar shot at the end definitely made it interesting for damn sure. Think Celtic will be good again and Hearts will drop more points. I feel like every team in the top 4 will definitely drop points in stupid ways from now to the end of the season. Right, Celtic have just done it once again there, so I have to look at it like that. It's one of those, right? But Rangers will definitely drop points in silly games. I mean, they're finding their form though, so that's the thing. Like, if they keep going the way they're going, then you know they have to look at it like that. They're still tied for the second, best defensive team in the league, I think, alongside Motherwell. So you know, they're finding their feet. But I mean, Celtic are finding goals. It's nice that we've got that at least. You know, if that was a Nancy side, we would have lost that one. So fair play O'Neill for being able to get something out of that with 10 men. But it's disappointing because from his perspective, after you go 1-0 up, you want to kind of put it to bed as fast as possible. Now we have Utrecht and Falkirk for the 5th time in like a year. I know Falkirk is. It was the same as when Rangers had to play Aberdeen like twice in a week, right? You're just like, how are you always like, fuck off, Falkirk, like go away. Like, it's going to be an interesting one because the last game they gave against us was a very interesting one as well. They fucking went all out for that and we just about got across the line. So it's a interesting one. But Utrecht is massive because if we win it, at least we're guaranteed something that Rangers isn't, which is player football. And if we can get that, at least there's something to smile about that we still have. But it entails us basically needing the full 3 points because I think with the exception of Ludogorets, there's not really too many other teams that can outright pip us. I think there's 4 or 5 below us that can if they win, but If we get all 3 points, then we just bank our spot. So ideally, I would like us to do that. But in terms of games here, it's yet another draw, another emphatic one as well. And it said, yeah, Hearts did actually kind of have a lot more shots towards the end of that match. Enjoying it? No, not to bother at all, Megan. If you're available in Discord, we'll probably be in there afterwards as well for a little bit. If you want to join us in there. Hearts will get beat. Fuck's sake, Callum Reid. We're drawing solo Rangers. Think Celtic will kick on now. All my hype is over with this game. Yeah, like, considering the fact this is as tough as a test as it can be for Celtic right now, right? It's a Martin O'Neill's side that's just been taken over with a bunch of injuries, no real signings in besides Shanshara. So when you look at it like that, the next time we play Hearts, we should be a stronger side because we'll have a couple of players back, and especially towards the end of the season, you know, post-March when we have Jota and Johnston back, we're only going to get stronger from this point, right? We can't be any worse than now. It's that old saying, right? Once you hit rock bottom, there's only one direction to go. So we have to keep that in mind, right? And we can find our form again, right? If Rangers were able to come back fucking for the deficit they have to be in the title fight, Celtic can go on a similar run of form and fucking canter the league by 6-7 points still. Nothing is set in stone, but based on what we've seen today, Hearts are definitely looking over their shoulder now. Celtic are still trying to find their feet, so to speak, and Rangers have kind of managed to plant theirs. So there's definitely 3 different stages that the teams are at right now, but that's obviously subject to change like any football game or any football season. You think if you still had Rodgers and didn't get that muppet of a manager, you'd be dropping points. Well, no, because Rodgers was going to leave one way or another, man. They were literally trying to pin everything on him, and he was like, fuck that shit, and just left. So we would have had to have brought in someone. I think we should have just done what we originally planned to do, which was have O'Neill as an interim until we could find someone that was a more sustainably proven and researched replacement, but we panicked, pulled the trigger on Nancy way too early, and obviously that stint for Nancy is the reason why we're in the position that we're in. When you look at it, like, mathematically, the guy fucking won 2 games from 8, so yeah, he definitely took the morality and the momentum and the speed out of the team, and obviously the injuries on top of it. We have been fucked a lot over the course of this season, one way or another, whether it be the board or just the fucking momentum and atmosphere around the place, or sometimes the players themselves. The injury list just keeps fucking getting worse and worse, and whenever we do get someone back for injury, there's another one that goes down with one, so you're just like, for fuck's sake. There's just some really stupid results this season, you know what I mean? Like, for me personally, the worst result this season by a fucking landslide was that 2-1 to Hearts at Celtic Park, because that was Nancy's big chance to kick on, but all of us were saying beforehand, this is stupid board, don't bring him in until after the cup final, and they're like, nah, we're going to panic the you know, we'll panic, we'll just bring him in and fuck up. Celtic are definitely still looking at a couple of players. I know there's that Reaxier, I think his name, but with that Palace winger, I believe, as well. There's another centre back. Surely a loss would have been rock bottom following a draw. I mean, I guess in that sense, aye, but what I'm talking about is the fact that, like, from that stint when Nancy basically left, we were left in the shitter, right? We had no fucking momentum at all. That's the rock bottom I'm talking about, right? Like, you can't get any worse than that, so we're slowly building ourselves up. And yeah, I mean, as Flash just said there, lost when Nancy is rock bottom, and the point that trust the only thing we have is O'Neill back. Like, we're trying to find our feet, right? So, you know, I'm not going to judge it too harshly, at least in comparison to other defeats. At least there was a reason we lost this one. Well, I say lost this one, but it feels like a loss just because of the way it happened. But, you know, we didn't lose in a game that we weren't playing our best in. If that was Nancy, we would have fucking lost it. So, yeah, like, rock bottom, up, it makes sense. It's one of those, I guess. I think Danny's been a big impact. I think he just thinks Celtic have lost that fight a little. Like, I mean, it contradicts the thing you were saying earlier, guys, about how Celtic will kick on, and like, I don't know. It's one of those, right? Like, Celtic will find their feet again. It's just a matter of if but when for us. It's more or less, can Hearts keep their composure up long enough to get across the line, and more importantly, above all else, the Rangers have a few slip-ups for here to the end of the season, because like I said, between Celtic, Rangers and Hearts, they need to play each other like 9, 10 times, so there's like 27 point swings between all three of us so far, with what's left. It's a bit different if you get towards like the end of fucking, you know, like March or the start of like April, and there's like the same type of thing, because then you're like every game matters. But at least when you're in, you know, early January, you know, the early stages of the second half of the season, I should say, then you pretty much like, you know, have that guarantee that you can bounce back, you have the time to adapt. There's still more than a week basically to bring in the key signings that you might need, even if they are on loan. We still need bodies to make up for the numbers, especially while we're still waiting on a couple of the key players coming back from injury. I can get the board not wanting to sign anyone that's a permanent replacement to a position that could have a, you know, fully fit player there, like a Johnston or a Jota, because when they're on form, they're unbeatable in that squad. But we do need to have key pieces come in to cover the cracks that we have right now, because the longer this goes on, the more they get exposed and start to corrode, and we can't have that under any circumstances. I think any team in the top four will probably have that mindset. Motherwell are doing what they can to strengthen and keep the players that they need to keep, like Maswahise and the like. Obviously Hearts have pretty much done the same thing. They've not let any major key pieces go. They've done some pretty, you know, sensible recruitment from the start of August, to be honest. Celtic have probably been the only team in the top three that have been woefully bad with transfers. Rangers have brought in a couple of okay-ish players. They've done okay to balance out with what they've had. They've bounced back well enough, but that's because, again, they're not pure rattled with fucking key player injuries, so they've been able to make do. And obviously I think they've got 1 or 2 pieces in already, so if they can put 3 or 4 extra, then yeah, all teams are subject to change between now and the end of January. But Celtic need to make fucking moves and fast, because it's getting ridiculous now. We're 25 days into January and the only thing we've signed is a striker that, I mean, has an alright, you know, 60, 70 minutes stint of football, but could have been a lot better, I think. It's an interesting question, to be fair. Of all ants on Earth grew the size of bears, would humans survive? Probably not. I mean, ants can like lift about, what is it, like 100 times their own body weight, so if they were the size of bears, they'd be able to just pick you up and fucking throw you about 200 fucking feet. I mean, the games that have been played, guys, the games still to come with twists and turns, but McDonald's made a big difference. I don't fair enough. No, I don't think anyone's saying that Celtic are out the title race. We're still firmly fucking in it, man. Like, guaranteed, no matter what, we're going to be like second one way or another, probably, based on the way things are going right now. But the point is, we will be in that kind of bracket. My hope is that Hearts kind of start to tremble and trip up. Any time that they play against Rangers for now at the end of the season, they draw with each other, so we can just slowly claw back those 2-point deficits, the same way that Rangers basically has with all the times that Celtic have fucked up, or whenever Hearts have drawn or lost. It's, you know, you just have to kind of be there, and as long as you can maybe make a late dash for the line when it matters and put together the run of forms at the right times. And yeah, like Rangers are on a great run of form right now, but we've seen that last season where they had that good little stint of form, and then towards the end of it, it just kind of fell away, right? It's the same as fucking Aberdeen last season, although Hearts have been a lot more consistent this season, so I'm not saying they're going to go on a fucking 18-match losing streak or anything, but yeah, there's definitely still real reasons for every fan base in the top 4 to be like, yeah, we could potentially do it. Even Motherwell, like I said, they have like a very slight shout, you know, they're like in a different room entirely going, yes, maybe we can. But you've got Hearts, Celtic and Rangers pretty much sitting at the high table going, right, none of us are in form right now as good as we could be. Like, Rangers are picking up wins, but they know they could be better. Celtic are kind of staggering and stammering all about the fucking place, but we're doing what we need to do to kind of stay somewhat relevant, right? This is a game where we're down to 10 men today and still picked up a point for Tynecastle. We couldn't even do that last time, so we got to take positives. We're improving, just very slightly and slowly. We need to improve vastly and fast, so as long as we do that, we should be fine. No danger, for fuck's sake, and I. Still think Hearts are favourites. Nah, I'd say for here, right here and now, you'd have to say one of the Glasgow sides. It depends on Celtic's next week. you would say, right? Because if we beat Utrecht, we'd have every reason to actually go and make some signings because European run could be on. Not that we would do much with it, we'd probably lose in the fucking first knockout phase game, but it is what it is, right? As long as you have something. But if we lose to Utrecht, then yeah, you can imagine them just going with the stale, we'll just loan everybody in, Lamal. And even if we do beat Utrecht, it just means that we would have to bring in slightly better loan players. So the quality is going to depend pretty much on what happens after that match. And more importantly, we need to have 1 or 2 pieces in the door before that game even fucking happens, so we have the safety net and not having to panic buy on the last day and go, right, just get this guy on loan, just get that guy on loan, and just hope they work, and there's no real research put behind it, because that can be detrimentally bad to a season where you're trying to find consistency when you're bringing in players that are not consistent. So I guess that's all that really needs to be covered for this one, to be honest with you. Pretty straightforward, I'm not going to argue with it too much, calm enough at the end of it all. I think that's basically everything that needs to be covered, so let me just pull up this and then we can get ready to wrap this up. Imagine that. You'd feel bad for the pilot, man. Imagine get like halfway to Edinburgh and then in the 95th minute fucking Celtic score last second to win the title and he's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Can you just imagine the commentators? Well, sorry to inform you, the trophy isn't going to make it to the ground because a fucking helicopter ran out of fuel and crashed somewhere. You know what I mean? One of those types of situations. It's definitely a good season for the neutral if you're watching Scottish football. As a Celtic fan, it fucking sucks because the inconsistency is killing you, but I mean, Rangers fans will be happy, Celtic fans will be content, Hearts fans will be content. I suppose that's the overarching theme for this week. I mean, Celtic, I'm not too mad at it as a whole. We got a decent draw against Bologna and a respectable draw given the circumstances against Hearts. We just have to get confident. But I think that's everything that needs to be covered. So we're going to bail out and do what we need to do. The minute. Right. So let me just bring up the next match so you can see when that is. Right, well, thank you for watching, thank you for coming along. If you've been here for the whole stream or just a little bit of it, you're appreciated nonetheless. The next game you can catch us for will be on the 29th of January. That will be the last match day decider in the Europa League group phase against Utrecht. If we win, we are in. It's that simple. If we draw, it could still mathematically be possible. It would just depend on other results, but we'd know on hand because we kick off on the later side of things, like every other team, for the last match day. So we'll get to see in real time if we qualify or not. It'll be an interesting one. Can't really complain about the overall way that things worked out today. It is what it is. It's a little annoying, but take on the chin and move on. I think that's basically everything. So yeah, not really going to argue with it too much. Respectable in its own ways, I guess. You enjoy yourselves. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. It should be a pretty kind of calm night, at least I would hope, for the remainder of you that are in here. You enjoy yourself as well, Harry. Appreciate you for coming in, man. You take care as well. You as well, bro. But aye, I think that's everything that has to be covered. So, like I said, you can catch me on the 29th. I'll be live about 15 minutes, give or take, before kick-off. And yeah, that's all that needs to be kind of discussed. So, despite the kind of disappointing feeling that I'm having, Celtic are still the best goddamn team in the world. And I'll catch you all in the goddamn next stream. Hopefully you enjoy yourselves. Until then though, you take care. Hail, hail. Have a good one. Enjoy yourselves. Catch you in the next one. Till then.